searched for Casey and prayed for him.
There's a search for a gunman in northwest Georgia, someone who killed 4 people and wounded another in shootings at 2 locations last night in Rockmart. It's believed to be drug-related. This is Fox News.
Good morning. Is -1 degree in Chicago with a wind chill of 20 below at 5:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Dangerously cold weather is gripping Chicagoland. A wind chill advisory is in effect throughout the region until noon. The National Weather Service says wind chills could drop to 30 below. Frostbite and hypothermia are possible if precautions aren't taken. A number of schools are closed around Chicagoland today as dangerously cold weather hits the area. A list of closures can be found at emergencyclosingcenter.com. The Illinois Attorney General's office is reviewing the sentence handed down last week to Jason Van Dyke for the murder of Laquan McDonald. A spokesperson for Kwame Raoul said his office will conduct a review of the record and the law in the case and make a determination. Van Dyke was sentenced to less than 7 years in prison for shooting the teen 16 times, which stunned McDonald's relatives and activists who believe the sentence was too lenient. 8 people are hospitalized following a 2-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop. Police say a man driving a Jeep ran a red light and hit a red sedan early this morning in the first block of Ida B. Wells Drive. 6 people in the Jeep and 2 people in the sedan were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The accident appears to be alcohol-related. Chicago police are investigating an attempted kidnapping on the southwest side. Authorities say the 2 men jumped out of a vehicle and approached a 14-year-old girl last night in front of Tarkington Elementary School on West 71st Street. One of the suspects tried to pull the teen inside the car and unbuckle her pants. The girl broke free and ran away. The rules for food trucks in Illinois could change. The Illinois Supreme Court is being asked to decide if Chicago's rule that food trucks must stay 200 feet away from brick-and-mortar restaurants is legal. Lawyers for the city say the rule protects traditional restaurants, but lawyers for a food truck owner say the rule is designed to limit competition. In sports news, the Bears' new defensive coordinator has high expectations for the defense. During his introductory news conference, Chuck Pagano said the pieces are there to possibly be the best defense in history. Pagano was hired to replace Vic Fangio, who left the Bears after 4 seasons as defensive coordinator to become head coach of the Broncos. The Bulls host the L.A. Clippers tonight at the United Center. The home team has dropped 11 of its last 12 games, that is, including a 121-101 loss to the Hawks on Wednesday. This news report is sponsored by Peloton. Live studio classes in the comfort of your home. Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home, anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. AM 560 news time is 5:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Mayoral Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Napa know-how. Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium battery. Its durability and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Limit 2 per household while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/19.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY. Do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
We've all been there, looking for a parking spot when it's freezing and icy outside. The icy pavement of this pothole-filled parking lot is a nightmare. Oh, there's a spot. Wait, oh no, you're sliding. Watch out for that pothole. Your tire just blew out. The kids are crying and you're never coming back here again. Business owners and property managers, avoid frustrating your customers with a less than perfect parking lot. Pavement Solutions can offer you a safer and longer lasting pothole repair with permanent cold mix asphalt. It's an immediate solution and 90% of potholes patched will never need to be repaired again. Call Pavement Solutions today and learn how they can fix your lot in a day without closing it. In fact, as customers drive over the patch, it gets stronger. Don't put your customers or your business at risk with annoying potholes. Give your customers the experience they deserve. Call Pavement Solutions for a free quote. 815-675-0696. 815-675-0696. Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's network and computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
My experience with Zach in Townstone was unbelievable. It was stress-free. That's like unheard of when purchasing a home. He informed me in the very beginning what I should expect, how long the process would ultimately be. He kind of held my hand the whole way. It was seamless. It was effortless. I never felt as though I was going into the next phase of the process blindly. Use Townstone. Ask for Zach Short.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, NMLS 136639, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Taking a check of our Chicago area roadways, looks like we'll be off to a pretty chilly start across the area, but no major incidents or delays on our expressways. We do have a road blocked because of an overturned vehicle near 55th and Morgan this morning on the south side. Also, an Elgin railroad gates malfunctioning along Highland right near Route 31, so just use some extra caution there. Edens moves well this morning, 19 minutes in between Lake Cook and the junction. Kennedy in at 20 minutes from O'Hare. 10 in from the junction, 8 looking good in the inbound express. Outbound also delay-free, scheduled 20 minutes downtown out to the airport. Inbound side of the Eisenhower, you've got the off-ramp at Independence reopening after some overnight road construction. Stevenson looks good in both directions, not seeing any hassles either direction of the Dan Ryan. 15 minutes in between downtown and 95th.
Good Morning Answer starts next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory this morning. Clouds and cold. Snow late this afternoon, the high 6. Snow this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch, otherwise clouds and a low at -6. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, high 11. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning
Don't
Answer
forget
starts
that you can
now
watch Chicago's
on
Morning
AM
Answer on the
560,
Income Store
The
live
Answer.
video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
But baby, it's cold outside.
Got to go
But baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Been
Morning
over
SPF
that
30 or
you
40
drop
today.
I thought that song was banned. Dan and Amy, good morning. Wear layers, cover your extremities, and move.
It's
okay?
minus-
I mean, it's the same thing.
It's -20 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's frightening out there. It's so cold that...
How cold is it?
Oh, thank you. It's so cold that I have wild animals living in my garage. You know-
It's so cold that I rolled over and Walt Disney said, "Is it a bit chilly in here?" Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
But you know, I have my feral cats in the garage, and I have little heating pads for them, and I have a water dish that's heated so the water doesn't freeze, and I have a nice little condo set up there for my stray cats.
Yeah,
'Cause
Amy
they-
Jacobson, pet detective.
Well,
right.
So I couldn't get in. And I'm still shaking. I couldn't get into my car because I had a family of raccoons in there this morning. That's the noise. It's big dude. I mean, he looks like he just robbed a bank too because he's got the mask on.
They're vicious
And
animals.
Well, they're beautiful creatures, but they were near my hobo ride, and I'm like, I gotta get in my hobo ride.
How do they get in the garage?
Because I leave it cracked open for the feral cats. So they've been eating the food, drinking the water, and hanging out on the heated pads. Meanwhile, the
Boy,
cats are up in the
Who could have
rafters.
predicted that?
So I was.
What about the rats in there? What do they eat?
There's no rats. The rats are. We don't have rats because of my cats, my feral cat program that I have. Community cats.
Program.
No, I have a program.
Yeah.
They're community cats. They're called, and you get a tub with some hay in it, and it's insulated blue tub, so they sleep in that to protect themselves. So I put that high up in the rafters. Back up, I've got the heated pads. But the raccoons have been using my garage. I'm surprised my cats aren't. Do raccoons eat cats? What do raccoons eat?
I'm not sure where
this is
the
gonna
two
go
of them
down.
stand on the
But this thing,
food
Dan,
cycle.
This
but
thing was this big. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
And then they had the little babies. Oh, the babies were kind of cute, but they scared me. So I screamed, and they still didn't. They still didn't move. They were making that stupid noise. And then I ran in the house because I had a backup garage door opener and opened it up. And then they ran out. Phew, and I was able to come to work.
Wow, that is a harrowing tale.
I'm just saying, it's so cold outside. The raccoons might be living in your garage. That's what I'm saying.
Particularly if you leave the door open and provide food. Yeah.
Yeah, and heated beds. Got a whole system in there.
All right. That's a great public service announcement. Now, if we could get on to the show. Okay. I mean, it's cold outside, right?
-20.
Welcome to Chicago in virtually February.
Yeah, but the air temperature is -4, so just, be careful. Do you have gloves? Do you even have gloves in case your car breaks down?
Yeah, Mom. I do. I got a blanket and gloves, and I'll survive, on one of the exits on one of the expressways until somebody finds me.
If you die of hypothermia if your car breaks down,
yeah.
don't say I
You
didn't
will
tell
have
you
the
so.
last laugh on that.
Yeah.
All right, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. What would you like Trump's alternative event to be named later to be on Tuesday night?
Oh.
He's having an alternative event.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, well, he said I'm going to do something in the alternative. I'll let you know what that is later.
Well, we just canceled our.
Well, it's not going to be a State of the Union address. It's
so
not going to be
we're not having our event.
No.
All right.
He's having some sort of alternative event that I think he's still working out in his mind.
Well, what's
so
it
my
gonna
question
be?
is, what would you like it to be? And don't say a State of the Union speech at the border, because that's not going to happen. Do something, think smaller.
What about having a dance competition with his staff members? Like
Okay.
Like dancing with Chicago
Have a
celebrities.
dance-off.
Have a dance-off.
Dance off to see who wins the impasse over the shutdown.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. A dance off between the two parties. They're all octogenarians or septuagenarians. There'll be a lot of broken hips in that
don't
dance
fall
off.
down.
Debbie on the South Side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi.
Hello.
Amy.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, Amy. The raccoons are going to eat your cat. I've seen the raccoons eat cats in the neighborhood. I have to watch my cat.
So what should I do?
All right.
Oh, well, secure your garage and make sure they can't get in.
Imagine that.
Well,
Boy,
I keep the door open.
Yeah,
so
imagine
the
that
cats can
because
get...
they will.
Debbie,
fall
that
under.
is just crazy enough to work.
So build a wall around my garage? A raccoon?
I don't know. You know, I've seen them go in garages, dig under, even go through the bricks, even through the roof. I've seen them crawl up a tree, the bird's nest, and onto the window into a condo. They're quite clever when it comes to getting food.
Yeah, it's that survival thing. Yeah.
All right, well,
Thanks for the call, Debbie.
Maybe I should go home now and defend my land,
Well,
defend my cats.
Any other cat ladies have any other advice for Amy they'd like to share? Cat lady to cat lady, other than, close the door.
Do you understand? If I close the door, the cats can't get in. But should I cut a hole in the door? Like a little hole so the cats could get in, but not the big fat raccoons? But then they might send in their children to hurt the cats.
Yeah. It's a cagey animal that you're dealing with.
There's claws on that raccoon were bigger than mine.
Can I suggest a pump action 12 gauge?
In my neighborhood? Yeah, in the city of Chicago.
Well, or rig the door.
I got to rig the door. Yeah, so that only the cats can get in and out, but the big fat. This thing, he must have weighed 100 pounds. Maybe it was a wild boar.
Right, wild boar in Lakeview. Yeah, that'd be something.
Or is it Tum-Tum?
Apparently, a lot of people in Lakeview leaving their garage doors open with food out for the raccoons.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba.
It's our winter survival kit for this cold and flu season. It's power-packed with natural ingredients, and unlike the flu shot, it's safe and effective. First, it's our Sunny C 1000. It's highly absorbable, and it does not suppress your body's natural killer cells like most other vitamin C supplements do. And when you purchase your first bottle of our Sunny C 1000, I promise to include scientific data to back it up. And I'll also include a vitamin C dosage chart for you to customize how much is best for you, whether you're fighting off a cold or flu or you want a preventative dose to keep you from getting a cold or flu. Sunny C 1000. It's easy on the stomach, and it's essential in fighting illness. And when you order your Sunny C 1000 today, be sure to get more information on the rest of our winter survival kit. Call 800-794-1855. It's our Health Quest Radio hotline. And be sure to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, that number again, 800-794-1855.
Hey, if you listen to this show, I know that you've heard commercials for Balance of Nature. And after hearing all the testimonials, many people wondered, are they real? Does this product really work? Come on. Well, I have to tell you, I met Dr. Howard and his lovely wife and his son. And Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He spent time showing me some emails. I listened to voicemails, told me how they make Balance of Nature. It's really a fascinating process. They have this machine that takes the fruit. They flash dry it and then ground it into a powder. There's no preservatives. It's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference, all thanks to Balance of Nature. So get on it. We all need fruits and veggies in our life, and we all know that we are very busy and are not eating enough fruits and vegetables. Be honest with yourself. So order Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com. Put Chicago in the promo code, and you'll receive 35% off your order. Balanceofnature.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka. On the field, they called me Iron Mike. But some days, even Iron Mike can feel a little rusty, so I turned to Blue Emu. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula gets down deep for big-time comfort. And more importantly, it doesn't leave me smelling like a locker room. Now, if you excuse me, I have some yelling to do. You hit like old men! Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Napa know-how.
Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium Battery. Its durability and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium Battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Limit 2 per household while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/19.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean, why is this so hard? At ADT, we DIFY. Do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
AM 560.
The Answer. Dan and Amy, we've got some breaking news. Roger Stone's been saying for months he expects to be indicted, and this morning he apparently has been arrested by the FBI. So we'll have more on that momentarily, but obviously we have more important matters to tend to at present, like raccoons in Amy's garage, taking your calls, suggestions for our resident cat lady. Here's, again, the scenario, if I could just summarize it. Amy leaves her garage door open with food and water for feral cats, and somehow the raccoons didn't understand that that food and water was just for the cats, and they have invaded her garage. What is one to do about this? See if you can solve this riddle.
It's a family of 5. A big guy, and then he's got 3 little babies, and the mama's in there, too.
We'll also
sitting in front of my car.
We'll also take suggestions on what the alternative event that Trump has referenced without specifics should be for Tuesday night, since there's no State of the Union address. Maybe watching Amy try to get the raccoons out of her garage.
They're huge. It's scary.
Tony on the south side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, my lammy lamb. Yeah, I don't want to focus on Trump and the shutdown. I'm focused on her raccoon problem. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Amy, you are beautifully broken. You crack me up when you said that you're gonna make a little door and then the mama rat's gonna send in the baby rats. All I can picture are little baby rats with SWAT team vests, helmets, and rifles going to get your cats. So be careful. That could happen. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Tony. It's like Action Cats. Remember that skit from Saturday Night Live?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just weaponize those feral cats to take out the raccoons.
Oh my God. I better not touch my baby cats.
That's
I'll be at war with them if they touch one of them.
It's a lot simpler than just closing the door or putting the food outside the garage.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because it's so cold, and the wind chill is going to be, it's -20. They need a barrier.
It's so cold. They're feral cats living outside.
It's really dangerous right now.
I see.
Okay.
Why don't you leave little jackets for them outside as well? Greg in Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Booties, too, for their feet.
Amy, there's certain mornings when the lovability factor of Amy Jacobson just goes through the roof in all of our
And this is not one of them. Yes.
And no, it happened today. Amy, the answer is ice them out.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, there you go. Sure. Yeah, thanks for the call, Greg. Charlie in Downers Grove.
Hello.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, I just want to say to Amy and her cat, this is the problem with the welfare state. So I think you've kind of defined some of the issues we have with the welfare states. People get cats and raccoons get dependent and take abuse of it.
It's a teachable moment, Charlie. Thanks for politicizing.
What
I
other
appreciate
animal
it.
could
Yeah.
be hanging out in my garage now? Opossum?
Any
Yeah.
feral animal that wants food. What do you leave out there? P&Js or what do you
No,
got?
I have dried cat food, and then I have moist cat food. And then again, I have this big bowl that's heated so the water never freezes. And then I have the beds, and then I have kitty litter.
Are they bunk beds or single occupancy?
They're single, but they're twin beds. You know,
Do you have
that are
like a-
heated, and then with blankets on, and a nice cat bed. It's fluffy. It's beautiful.
Do you have like a little living room where they can relax and maybe watch a little tube after they've eaten?
I just think, do raccoons bite human beings? I mean, will they attack me?
Well, if they're afraid, like if your raccoon is rummaging through your garbage, you don't like stick your hands in there to try and pull them out because you'll get right. So it's possible.
But I was trying to go to my car, and then I heard that, and then they were scurrying and then running, and I ran like a schoolgirl and then started screaming.
Just remember, you're more afraid of them than they are of you. Okay, I don't know which is a sillier topic, this or the alternative State of the Union address. Steve on 9094 here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning, Dan and Amy. I like Amy's idea earlier about a contest. How about Dancing with the Stars? You could put, Nancy Pelosi with Chernovsky. They could do like merengue, salsa. I don't know who you put President Trump with or one of the ladies, but he could do like a, salsa or rumba or... I mean, that'd be something. You could all judge it. How about that? Have a good day.
Thanks, Steve. Maybe with Melania, and they could do a traditional Slovak dance.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah. Tom in Deer Park.
Oh, there's a number of options the president could do. Where he could just submit the report in writing, but let's face it, that's rather boring. The president likes the pageantry as much as the populace does. Option 2, he could do the troll option and hold it from Covington High School, have a bunch of red hats in the background. That would be good for television.
A sock hop at Covington.
Perfect.
I love it. That's
We could
good.
do that. Or I just think, what the American public and the president would like the best would be the grift option, and he could hold it from Mar-a-Lago, charge $150,000 per ticket. The people in the audience could be like the Oscar audience and get on television, and he could get the big ratings, and everyone will be happy.
All right. That's not bad, Tom. Thanks for the call. I've been to Mar-a-Lago, by the way, for dinner. It's quite lovely.
You've been there?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Coming up next. No, I want to hear all about that. Forget the raccoons.
West Palm Beach Republican organization.
Yeah.
Their dinner was at Mar-a-Lago a couple of years ago. It was great. Yeah.
Did you take anything?
Did not steal anything. Thanks for asking. Here's the best. I still think the best that we've heard from our audience on this was yesterday. Somebody tweeted somebody texted Trump should tweet the State of the Union.
Perfect.
that actually is pretty damn good.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer.
BO gets one family the heave-ho from a flight to Detroit. We'll have that at 5:38.
And more on this breaking news. Roger Stone arrested apparently for witness tampering. But first, let's get into the newsroom. And Perry Williams. Good morning, Perry Williams.
Good morning, Amy. It's 0 in Chicago with a wind chill of 19 below at 5:30 on AM 560 The Answer. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is coming out in support of legalizing marijuana. The county's lead prosecutor made the announcement yesterday before the City Club of Chicago.
I want to say publicly to all of you that I am in support of the legalization of marijuana. I also believe that as we do this, we must do it acknowledging the public health and the public safety ramifications thereof.
Foxx also said her office plans to help expunge all misdemeanor marijuana convictions in Cook County. In other news, more information is emerging about the scandal surrounding indicted Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. The Sun-Times reports that the developer of Chicago's Old Main Post Office is cooperating with federal investigators working to build a corruption case against Burke. A file on the post office was seized from Burke's Finance Committee's suite in City Hall during a raid in November. Burke voted last year in favor of a tax break for the post office project. Sox Fest kicks off today. The 27th annual fan convention is being held at the Hilton Chicago. The event gives the fans the opportunity to connect with former Sox players and the current team. Former players scheduled to appear include Carlton Fisk, Ozzie Guillen, Bo Jackson, and 2019 Hall of Fame class member Harold Baines. AM 560 news time is 5:32. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher is concerned with the new Congress.
Socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez announced that she will join Maxine Waters on the very influential House Financial Services Committee. A self-described socialist is going to be on the committee which oversees Wall Street. You know how President Trump is called a disruptor? Wait till you see how the Democrats try to disrupt.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Napa know-how.
Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium Battery. Its durability and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium Battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers. Limit 2 per household while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/19.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY. Do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs. Get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 5:34 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
Taking a check of our Chicago area roadways this morning, traffic volume remains pretty light with no major incidents or delays. Keep in mind on the outbound side of the Ryan, the on-ramp to the main line shut down at 87th as crews finished up with some overnight work. And Elgin Railroad gates malfunctioning along Highland right near State. And on the south side, westbound 55th Street shut down between Morgan and Racine. This is all because of an overturned vehicle from the overnight hours. Along our main lines, the Edens looks good in both directions, as does the inbound side of the Kennedy. 20 minutes in from O'Hare, 10 in from the junction, 8 in the inbound express lanes. Eisenhower looking pretty clean as well. Looks like we're delay-free along the Stevenson as well as the Dan Ryan. I-57, Bishop Ford, and Lakeshore Drive all moving at the posted speeds. It'll be a chilly start to our morning. That's traffic. I'm Dominic Fortini. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory for this morning. Clouds and cold. Some snow late this afternoon. The high today 6. Snow at times this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise cloudy, low -6. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 11. I'm Steve Williams, I am 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We'll keep you updated as details become available on the apparent arrest of Roger Stone, former Trump campaign aide, this morning in Fort Lauderdale by the FBI.
Yeah, apparently the FBI knocked on his door at 6 a.m. in the morning and said, FBI, open the door.
No.
And he opened the
won't.
door, and he was taken into custody for witness tampering and other crimes.
So Roger Stone is this flamboyant figure who's had a long and sort of sordid history in electoral politics. I'm not going to get into all of the backstories.
Who is he? I mean,
watch the documentary, Get Me Roger Stone.
Okay.
You want to get a full picture of Roger Stone, pretty good documentary on him, Get Me Roger Stone. It's on your streaming services, your Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. So go do that. Here's the thing. This bubbled up to the surface again late last year. Another case like Michael Cohen, where the people Trump chose to surround himself with, like Paul Manafort, coming back to present some bad optics at minimum for the president. And I suspect, because I understand one of the charges at least is witness tampering, this is going to relate to differences of accounts between him and another sort of marginal character named Jerome Corsi, who we've talked about from time to time over the course of this extended and special counsel investigation. You can see I'm just exhausted even talking about this.
Right.
It's just like why do I have to talk about Jerome Corsi and Roger Stone? Well, because President Trump put those two clowns around him, among other clowns, during his campaign, and they were, engaged in some level of clownery. WikiLeaks. They have different accounts of what they knew about WikiLeaks obtaining Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta's emails, the release of those emails. Corsi wrote in a book that he made 3 allegations in his testimony before Mueller's grand jury that could pose legal problems for Stone. This is in his book. And remember, Corsi also has given interviews about how he felt pressured by Mueller. Mueller was going to essentially put him through the ringer if he didn't cooperate. So the 3 things he told Mueller's grand jury, that he thought would be problematic for Stone. He told Stone in August 2016 WikiLeaks had possession of Podesta's emails. He worked with Stone to create a cover story for an August 21, 2016 tweet in which he wrote, "It will soon be Podesta's time in the barrel." And third, Stone caught wind of the forthcoming release of an Access Hollywood tape that showed Trump, the famous Access Hollywood tape that showed him speaking crudely about women to
Billy Bush.
Exactly. And asked Corsi to contact WikiLeaks to instruct the group to begin releasing the Podesta emails. Stone did, not Trump. Stone. Stone. Corsi. Okay? So that's what we know about Roger Stone. Generally speaking, when it's made public what the other charges are, we can delve deeper as necessary. I mean, look, if you have interest, I can go into the colorful history of Roger Stone, but I suspect you don't.
Well,
I just don't know who's really interested in all of these marginal figures and their
come into politics,
buffoonery and crackpottery. That's my sense of it.
Great political mind, or he just wanted to be part of the show?
He's a provocateur and an instigator, and he's good at media manipulation. So there's all kinds of sordid characters in politics. Across the aisle, across the spectrum. All right, I want to get to this other story because this is more entertaining. Given the heave-ho for B.O., Yossi Adler, his wife Jenny, and their 19-month-old daughter were seated on a Miami to Detroit flight when ground crew asked them to step off the plane and then close the door behind them. And here's how the exchange went after that between the Adler family and a representative of the airlines.
You told me for religious reasons you don't shower? Is that what you said?
No, I did. I shower every day.
Today. So what did you say?
I said you kicked me off because of religious
reasons.
reasons.
Showers. You can't complain that we have odor. Seriously.
No, I did not say that. You said you were giving me my stuff back.
No, I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
My wife is here, and we could ask her. Okay? Sir, I'm trying to stay calm. But
You're not calm to me. Your stuff goes. I never told you it was coming off. I would never say that. You just took her car seat.
You took her car seat. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to buy me a car seat now?
I never said... You have to calm down.
I have to calm down. I have 8 children at home, and there's a religious reason, for some reason, that they're kicking me off the plane. We don't have odor, okay? Nobody here has odor. Oh, stop. Give me that. Oh, stop, okay?
Okay, you need to exit to the rebooking center so they can rebook you for...
He's doing it now. I need to get home tonight, sir, and I need a report of telling me why I was kicked off the plane. I'm not leaving this airport until I was told why I'm getting kicked off.
Listen very carefully, because if the captain and the crew do not want you on board, they have final say.
Tell me why.
And they have to abide by all the passengers' wishes.
Tell me, I need a report. Tell me something.
Right. A report here, but we'll get out to your reservation. We'll refer back to your reservation.
Well, American Airlines did reply to TV stations, WXYZ. Mr. Adler and his wife were removed from the flight when several passengers complained about their body odor. They've been booked into a hotel for the night, given meal vouchers. They've been rebooked on a flight Thursday. I mean, the truth is hard.
Are they going to pass the smell? Do they have a smell test they've got to pass in order to get on that flight?
Well, maybe I was thinking that they booked them into that hotel to hint, why don't you take a shower while you're there? Well, his wife was asking people going up to them in the airport, saying, do we smell?
We stopped several people in the airport, and it's embarrassing, but we asked them, do you think we smell? Because we just got kicked off of a plane for smelling. And they were like, oh, my God, we're so embarrassed for you that somebody would do such a thing. No.
And you heard the exchange between Mr. Adler and the American Airlines rep, and Adler said he thought it was because it was for religious reasons. He's Jewish. He's wearing a yarmulke. But I mean, what's the basis to kick somebody off the plane for religious reasons? Why would that happen?
Wouldn't do that.
I mean,
American Airlines would not do that. Have you ever been in a room with somebody who has bad body odor? It is. You can just no, you don't you dare look my way. Are you kidding me?
Are you going to tell me you shower every day?
I do shower every day, but I don't shower. I wake up and shower. I shower before I go to bed. And you know what? My personal hygiene is none of your business.
I'm not there before you go to bed. I'm here now.
Are you kicking me out of the studio?
Ma'am, we're happy to rebook you on another show. Ma'am, look, if the control room doesn't want you in the studio, you're not going to be in the studio. I have not been on a plane, thankfully, with anybody with body odor that was, so offensive that I was, getting woozy, which apparently was the case.
It's debilitating. I mean, God bless American Airlines for sticking up for the other passengers who had to live with that smell.
Well,
but it's not a comfortable conversation to have. Like, hey, grab your stuff. I thought maybe it was the kid had a dirty diaper at first.
Yeah, he's 19 months old. Yeah,
he didn't have a dirty diaper. Dad and Mom smelled.
Well, which one of them had a dirty diaper? I mean, here's the other thing though is,
some people are more tolerant of smells than others.
I don't know what to do about this body odor thing, because what are you going to have a plebiscite on the plane? Who thinks they have body odor, and it's like a simple majority and you get to stay, or a simple majority and you have to leave?
I think that the flight attendants probably caught wind of it too.
Pun intended.
And went to the captain like, we got to do something about the couple in row 7.
Well, they clearly had other passengers complain, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's how it...
That's what it... Yeah. On behalf of the other passengers that were on the plane, they complained about their body odor.
Have you ever tried to have somebody removed from a plane and you're not a U.S. Marshal? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
Yeah, it's bad.
I suspect you have.
Oh, yes, I have, and I asked to be removed. Well,
you asked to be removed.
I asked to be removed
because of your body odor.
No, because the man next to me smelled so bad it hurt the back of my throat.
You just wanted to move. You didn't ask him to be removed.
I didn't know that was an option. But now that the story has happened, I'd like to.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Dow.
Dr. Dow.
He got to go home. So here's the thing.
Just asked to be moved. Once we took flight and it was safe to move around the cabin, I said, excuse me, and I got up and I said, he smells so bad. She said, I know, I understand. I can't sit next to him. I'm going to get sick. So I went back to the back of the plane. Real simple. But now I know I have passenger rights. Now he's gone.
Public service announcement. Now that Amy knows this can happen, you better be squeaky clean if you're flying with Jacobson.
You better be.
And that's a notice to all those who are coming on that trip with us to Mexico, because don't think just because you paid for a trip to go on a vacation with us that she won't kick you off if you're not coming to the table.
And this is an uncomfortable conversation to have, too. Maybe we shouldn't even have. We have had somebody on our trip that had really bad body odor that people didn't want to sit next to on a plane.
Is that why I had the row to myself? Oh.
But speaking of, cue the music, please. We are going this year to sunny Nueva Vallarta, Mexico. That's where we're heading with Apple Vacations. And you are invited to come along with us April 6th through the 13th. We'll be staying at Mayoral Residence Luxury Resorts in Nueva Vallarta, Mexico. All-inclusive resort, 10 minutes from the airport, 6 gourmet restaurants, 2 bars, unlimited premium drinks. This trip gets bigger and better every year, Dan. You know, we have return couples that come, and it's going to be great. So book your trip today. Go to 560theanswer.com/passport, 560theanswer.com/passport, and we will see you in April in Nueva Vallarta, Mexico.
Maybe the Adlers will come with us. But I do feel a little bit bad for them. It's, nice couple, 9 kids. 9 kids. They're holding up their end. I don't know.
She looks good for 9 kids. Did you see her?
Yeah.
That's a litter. She looks great.
Dennis in Crystal Lake, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Come on, Dan. You and Amy, between you, got about 3 hours of manual labor. And that's really pushing it.
Oh, I see.
I worked 20 hours. I worked 20 years, 18 hours a day in 130-degree heat. Now I work at the biggest wastewater treatment plant in the world. If I was on the bus with Amy, nor you, and you told me to get off the bus, I would take the bull by the horns, and you'd be off the bus.
All right.
Oh,
wow. All right, Dennis. Oh. Thanks for the call. Well, I mean, I understand, I guess, commuting to and from work, but if you've got a flight planned well in advance.
I mean, don't you shower before you go on a plane? I do.
Yes, I shower every morning when I get up.
Just asking.
That's what distinguishes the two of us.
Oh, my gosh. What's the difference if you'd shower at night or the morning? I don't. What?
All the grime?
Grime?
Yeah, you just
change my sheets once a week.
You spent the first half hour of this show talking about yourself rooting around in your garage with feral animals. And now the entire AM 560 family has to bear that stink.
If a dead fish and a homeless person had a baby, and the baby puked, and the dog ate the puke, this smells like the rear end of that dog.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
It's a fact. Workmen's compensation makes companies less productive and less profitable. It becomes more complicated with every amendment by the legislature. It's an increasing burden on employers. It's important that your company identify the risks and do everything possible to minimize your exposure. For more than 3 decades, the firm of Spiegel and Cahill, a food for the poor business benefactor of AM 560, has effectively represented businesses and insurance companies in Illinois and Indiana with workmen's compensation defense. The attorneys understand and are sympathetic to the real burden your company faces. They excel at helping you minimize the payouts and pursue alternatives to litigation. You'll work with one attorney, and the Spiegel and Cahill team is committed to being responsive and managing costs. To learn more or request a no-obligation workman's comp consultation, call Spiegel and Cahill, the workman's comp defense professionals in Hinsdale at 630-455-4070, or visit defendingbusinesses.com. That number again, 630-455-4070, or online at defendingbusinesses.com.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
If you're not pleased with your child's progress this school year, now's the time to consider enrolling your son or daughter in St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. With an ongoing enrollment program, it's never too late. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. Find out more about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy ongoing enrollment. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Dan Proft here, and I want to tell you about a pro-life organization that's very near and dear to me, Aid for Women. Did you know that 1 out of 4 pregnancies in Cook County ends in abortion? Aid for Women is fighting the abortion battle on the front lines. 5 pregnancy care centers and 2 maternity homes in the Chicago area. Because of the passage of House Bill 40 in Illinois, women on Medicaid can get abortions on demand, free of charge throughout the state. As a result, while Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry are closing clinics throughout the rest of the country, they're actually expanding in Illinois. Women can even come here from out of state to get free abortions, all on Illinois taxpayers' dime. We cannot let the abortion industry take over our local communities. Few people know that pro-life pregnancy centers exist to accompany women in unexpected pregnancies. For more than 40 years, Aid for Women has helped women choose life. Your support is vital, and together we will save lives. Go to helpaidforwomen.org and commit today to more actively live out your pro-life convictions. Again, the website helpaidforwomen.org. Please help Aid for Women save lives in Illinois.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, more reactions to the B.O. Heave-Ho story. The couple and their 19-month-old child kicked off a American Airlines flight for smelling.
Yeah, they're going Miami to Detroit.
And
no, not for you.
And we talked a little bit about your suspect personal grooming habits.
It's not. What is. People shower at night. A lot of people do. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Steve on 88 captured it nicely. 2013, Don and Roma. 2019, Dan and Aroma.
Hey-oh!
That's pretty good. Also, the Amish texter weighing in. Next time, the couple on this American Airlines flight, the Adlers. Next time they should fly Air France, nobody would notice the bad BO there.
That's true. That is true.
Can you even say that anymore? I don't know. Could you remember Airplane, where they had like the like this? I think it was a Saudi Arabian plane, and outside it had like a turban and hair under the wings. Can you do that anymore? I don't know.
No, that movie could not be made. Blazing Saddles could not be made.
Oh, as we know, The Office couldn't be made anymore. Seinfeld couldn't be made anymore.
Oh, that's right, because those are under
No,
attack.
but the cultural Marxists aren't.
But I hope they don't turn this into a religious thing. I mean, he did mention that when he was talking to the ticket agent. Am I getting taken off because of my religion? Because he had a yarmulke on?
Right. I don't know. I don't know what evidence there's to support that. There certainly could be something that was said that we didn't hear. I don't know. Just picking up on this Roger Stone arrest this morning we were talking about as well. Listen to this. Here's some audio that CNN, or video, and we've got the audio, that CNN had on Roger Stone's arrest. The FBI showing up to his door this morning in Fort Lauderdale to arrest him.
FBI, open the door.
Why are there cameras with the FBI? Thank you. That adds a lot of weight to my question.
Or was that somebody in the neighborhood who got out their cell phone camera?
Yeah.
When the FBI was there at 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
Out walking their dog.
FBI guys in flak jackets knocking the door. Hey, hold, wait. I want to film this.
Wait, I'm not
Can
ready
I get
yet.
a selfie?
I'm not ready. Okay.
No, this is obviously staged. They enlist the media to capture an arrest? Is that problematic to you at all?
Yeah.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. We'll take up your reactions to that after the news, and we'll also get your reactions to the left's war on Catholic and Christian schools that has been really brought into focus by the Covington Catholic school matter. 606.
And later, Senator Joni Ernst, a tearful explanation of what her life has been like. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Perry Williams.
Here's one of the stories we're following. A Chicago man's accused of threatening the lives of Jason Van Dyke and his family during the former Chicago police officer's trial for the murder of Laquan McDonald. Matthew Ross was indicted last week with 3 counts of making online threats. AM 560, WIND, Chicago.
This is a Fox News alert. Another arrest in the special counsel's Russia probe. I'm Dave Anthony. Roger Stone taken into custody this morning in Florida. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave Stone, a longtime associate of President Trump, was arrested by the FBI in Fort Lauderdale after a federal grand jury in D.C. handed up a 7-count indictment in the Russia probe. The 66-year-old faces 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, 5 counts of false statements, and 1 count of witness tampering. According to the indictment, Stone made false statements to the House's Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which was investigating his contacts with what's described as Organization 1, known as WikiLeaks. Dave.
Rachel, Paul Manafort will also be in court today for a hearing into whether the former Trump campaign chairman lied to investigators, as the special counsel claims, which would be in breach of Manafort's plea agreement to cooperate. President Trump says he's open to a compromise in the border wall standoff with Democrats.
One of the ideas suggested is they open it, they pay a sort of a prorated down payment for the wall.
And that in exchange for a short-term resolution to fund the government after two bills were voted down in the Senate yesterday. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says a down payment is not a reasonable agreement. So as day 35 of the partial government shutdown, about 800,000 federal workers will miss a second paycheck today.
Our economy will suffer a downturn. It does at these times. The president's own economic advisors can tell them that.
A 3-year-old boy who walked away from his grandma's backyard in North Carolina on Tuesday found alive last night in a wooded area.
Went to him, disentangled him from some briars that he was hung up in.
Captain Shane Greer is the EMS worker who found Casey Hathaway in Craven County.
And he's good. He is good.
The little boy's mom, Brittany, thanked the hundreds of volunteers who have been out searching. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's -2 in Chicago with a wind chill of 21 below at 6:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. A Chicago man's accused of threatening the lives of Jason Van Dyke and his family during the former Chicago police officer's trial for the murder of Laquan McDonald. Matthew Ross was indicted last week with 3 counts of making online threats. Records say he began making threats on social media last August in the lead up to Van Dyke's trial. Ross faces up to 5 years in prison on each of the 3 counts. In other news, bail is set at $250,000 for a Suburban volleyball coach accused of installing a hidden camera to record people in a bathroom at an athletic training facility in Carroll Stream. Michael Ledke is charged with unauthorized videotaping and possession of child pornography. Prosecutors say the Streamwood man installed the camera in a restroom at the DuPage Training Academy, where he ran a volleyball program called XL Athletics. The camera was wired to computers in Ledke's office. The age to buy tobacco products is going up later this year in Cook County. The county board approved an ordinance yesterday that raises the minimum age from 18 to 21. The measure includes the purchase of cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and vapes. The law goes into effect June 1st. AM 560 News Time is 6:03. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Hannity applauds the president's stance on trade.
We have had horrible one-sided deals with everybody. That includes NATO, 72 cents of every dollar. That includes even our European allies and friends, supposedly. They have one-sided trade deals. Mexico, NAFTA, Canada, now China. So we're making huge progress.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock detects threats to your identity, and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS to get an additional 10% off your first year.
Come on, kids. We're late.
Honey, the car won't start.
Mom, the dog just sat on my science project.
Life can be stressful, but getting life insurance shouldn't be. That's why there's Ethos. Ethos is a modern kind of life insurance that's super fast, incredibly affordable, and very uncomplicated. At getethos.com, there are no medical exams for policies covering under $1 million, no hours of paperwork or meetings with pushy representatives. It only takes 10 minutes to apply, and you can rest assured knowing you've taken steps to protect your family. And in most cases, with Ethos, you can have that peace of mind for less than a cup of coffee a day with no hidden fees. Having life insurance can free you from stress. Getting life insurance shouldn't cause it. Discover how uncomplicated life insurance can be at Ethos. Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
Winter or summer, rain or shine, with the Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
This news report is sponsored by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Want to recharge when you travel for business? Get a boost and stay at La Quinta at Wyndham. You can charge 5 devices in room and recharge yourself with a pillow top mattress and a bright side breakfast. Book now at iq.com and win at business. At 6:06 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
A chilly start to our Friday morning as we check our Chicago area roadways. On the south side, westbound 55th remains closed Morgan and Racine because of an overturned vehicle from the overnight hours. And CTA purple and blue line trains running with some minor delays after some early morning issues. But so far so good on most of our area expressways. Edens and Kennedy remain quiet. Kennedy in at 20 minutes, so here to downtown. 10 in from Montrose, 8 in the inbound Express. A few brake lights popping on the inbound Ike. From Des Plaines to Harlem, then Racine into the Burn Circle. 31 minutes from Thorndale in, 18 in from Manheim. Stevenson in on the break. Cicero to Kedzie, 36 in from 355, 26 in from the Tri-State. And a few minor delays on the inbound side of the Ryan, right near Canalport, cost us some time through the Burn Circle. 18 minutes, 95th into downtown. That's traffic. I'm Dominic Fortini.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory this morning. Clouds and cold. Snow late this afternoon, the high 6. Snow this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise clouds and a low at -6. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, high 11. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So CNN, of course, is going to be playing this all day and for the next several days. They somehow, golly, I wonder how, got the drop to be at Roger Stone's home when the FBI showed up this morning to arrest him, to record the whole thing. Does that strike you as odd at all, the FBI working with the media, ostensibly, to have a media event of this arrest?
Yeah, this doesn't sit well, because think of how many Illinois politicians have been arrested in our time, remember?
Oh, my God.
Well, no, they arrest them, right, and they normally take them, and, right before dawn breaks, between 5 and 6 a.m., and media is never there. When Blagojevich got taken away, they weren't there. Betty Lauren Maltese, I could just go on and on with politicians. So it's very strange to me that they're there at the exact time, and you see them rushing to the front door. You can hear them saying, "Open the door, FBI!"
Yeah, they're at the door to record the FBI making the knock and demanding entrance.
FBI, open the door.
So Stone was indicted last night by a federal grand jury. 7 counts, including 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, whatever that is, 5 counts of false statements. Okay, 5 counts of false statements, and 1 count of witness tampering.
And yeah, it's all, well, it's not really a
No, I mean,
Roger Stone's been talking about it, expecting to get indicted. I mean, and Roger Stone is.
He seems like a caricature of himself.
Yeah, well, he is. He's cartoonish, and he's. He's just a sort of a slithery operator, to say the least. This has to do with WikiLeaks emails, and this has to do with conflicting testimony from Roger Stone versus Jerome Corsi. That's what it appears on its face to me. And I don't know exactly how that relates to Russian collusion, except, so WikiLeaks in collusion with the Russians to hack into Podesta's emails, to hack into the DNC. I mean, it just becomes torturous. But this is still 3, 4, 5 degrees of separation from anything that pierces the inner circle of the Trump administration.
So
that's saying also, I haven't read the indictment, but on its face with those charges and what we already know about Stone and Corsi and WikiLeaks from months and months of intermittent reporting, this comes as little surprise, even though it's going to be treated with hyperventilation on the cable news channels.
Yeah, Robert Mueller's investigation. Here's another arrest. But do you think if President Trump didn't surround himself with Roger Stone, this would be happening this morning? No. I mean, he was part of the whole Mueller probe.
Stone was on the campaign, and then he wasn't, and he's sort of like, I don't know, an operative at large for Trump, even after they had separated. Yes, Trump has to bear responsibility, and there are consequences being visited upon him for making bad personnel judgment calls. Cohen, Manafort, Stone, others. Yes. Mike in Plano, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, I've been following Roger Stone for the last couple of years on InfoWars, and he always gives an account of what went down. Now, of course, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you everything, but he testified, I think, 2 years ago before the House Intelligence Committee about all this. He wanted to go public with it on TV, but the Democrats wouldn't let him because they wanted to misconstrue his statements and everything like that. And the one thing I was going to say is that he's also getting drained with legal fees like they did with Flynn, where they're basically abusing him to death to where they drain his bank account and then they finally get him on process crimes. So I view this as just more police state stuff, and the liberals cheer it on, and it just goes nowhere.
Perhaps. Thanks for the call, Mike. I mean, trying to discern the credibility of Jerome Corsi versus Roger Stone, you want to talk about trying to figure out how many angels can dance on the head of a pin. I mean, this is dismal business, I suppose, is my point. I mean, honestly, I'll repeat again. Get me Roger Stone documentary featuring, in large measure, Roger Stone, and Roger Stone sitting down for interviews. You make your own judgments on Roger Stone. I've given you mine. Jerome Corsi was like a bureau chief for InfoWars. I've given you my view on Alex Jones and InfoWars and that sort of conspiracy theory theater nonsense. That's not for serious people. Okay? It's my view. And oh, by the way, the record reflects it, as does Alex Jones's own custody dispute with his ex-wife, where his attorney said, it's an act. I mean, let's separate like crack pottery for profit from like serious discussions of public policy or governing. Corsi, Stone, Jones belong in the crack pottery for profit category. Candace in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
I like what Dan Bongino says about the federal law and the FBI, that everybody on earth has done a crime according to federal law. And I mean, this is having the cameras there. It is so disgusting, especially what happened in the last week with this whole Spygate thing. Like they're so being exposed that it's so frustrating, Dan, and Amy, because I mean, none of it gets into the news. Maybe Byron York picks it up. Dan Bongino has been on top of it. Greg Jarrett, Sean Handy. But, this is what happens every time something bad comes out about what they did. Then they do this whole sensational thing. So this is all the MSM talks about for the next 2 weeks. And then we find out more and more and more about what they've done. And it just gets more and more covered up. I mean, Mueller is there to run interference for Obama and Hillary's crimes. And you cannot convince me otherwise, because the truth keeps dribbling out.
All right, Candace. I mean, the Mueller investigation is with antics like this morning, filming the FBI knocking on Roger Stone's door and taking it into custody. It does sort of give you the impression that the Mueller investigation is like a Law and Order spinoff.
Yeah. Look, we're doing something. Look, we're arresting another one of another person in Trump's inner circle.
Who's the reality TV star again in this saga?
How could Mueller let that happen too?
Jim in Tampa, Florida.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. All the comments are on point. Your question is fantastic about does this trouble you? Here's my question. 10 years ago, let's go back 10 years, who is the equivalent of Roger Stone in the early Obama administration? I mean, do we even know that name?
Who's the equivalent of Roger Stone? Well, I don't know that there's an exact match, but I mean, certainly in the early Obama years, you had some really unsavory characters, domestic terrorists like Bill Ayers, racists like Jeremiah Wright. Yeah, sure.
Yes, and so now, 10 years ago, we could never have imagined this arrest happening on 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning or on a whatever morning, Friday morning. Couldn't have imagined it. 10 years ago, to take it another step, I don't think we could have imagined what happened to those high school kids. I don't think we could imagine that whole scene. And the thing is, things have changed quite a bit, so much. And I don't think it's a left-right thing, Democrat-Republican thing. I think it's so much more than that. There's just a different set of rules, and different things are just allowed to go, oh, that's interesting. Well, let's find. I mean, it's troubling. And the answer to your question, yes, it's troubling.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Yeah, it is a left-right thing, though. It's not a Republican-Democrat thing, because so many Republicans are sentimental barbarians as well. This is what happens when cultural Marxists are in charge of all of your civic institutions. People lose their freedoms. People lose their sense of humor. People lose their minds. Glenn in Holland, Michigan.
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my call. What I find ridiculous about this whole thing is listen to what's happening there. You got the news media there. You got the FBI kicking down the door. Why not arrive there, pick up your phone, call the guy, and say, hey, man, we're going to be knocking on your door in about 5 minutes. Get your clothes on and explain the reasons why. And the drama, there's no drama. It's all so, dramatized. Everything. It's just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can we just get some adults?
But that's the way the FBI operates. I mean,
well, not always. Thanks for the call, Glenn.
Really?
Not. I mean,
Michael Cohen, they did that to him. Remember, at 6 a.m, his kids were sleeping, and but we didn't have video of it.
Well, they raided his office for information they didn't have, but they got a warrant for it. That's different. I mean, in a lot of situations, what does the FBI do? They arrange for the person who is going to be taken into custody to turn himself over. They arrange through a lawyer, particularly high-profile people. I mean, was Roger Stone some kind of flight risk out of Fort Lauderdale? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be the case. He's been, he's certainly not been afraid to do TV interviews. He never has been, because that's his stock in trade, being a media gadfly. But even right up until the end of last year. So
he's going to be in court, federal court this afternoon in Fort Lauderdale. They could have just said, hey, you have a court appearance. You've been indicted. We'll see you at your 3 o'clock hearing.
Well, no, you'd say you have to come turn yourself in, and then we'll process you, and then you'll be arraigned. Yes, that's what they could have done. They chose not to. Make a big show of it with CNN on site. CNN on site. That doesn't sit well with me. Larry and Carol Stream. Hey, Larry.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm in my car, so I don't know if you saw any video of that. Could you tell if it was an actual TV crew, not just some FBI agent using a cell phone?
It didn't look like a cell phone camera to me. I mean, videotaped on a cell phone. It looked like a real TV crew that was there, and they keep saying CNN exclusive.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
They had a shot of a bunch of FBI agents, sort of. Running in single file up to the door, and then obviously somebody else was there at the door, maybe the same crew, to record the knock and the, open the door, Roger Stone.
Well, it almost sounds like it also could have been just an FBI agent doing the videoing on his camera or on his phone and then giving it to CNN, which I think is at least is unethical, if not illegal.
Well, either way,
thanks
for the call, Larry.
I don't know what the protocol is.
Well, here the issue is, I don't really care how it was done.
Mm-hmm.
If FBI is collaborating with CNN or the media in general to have an event rather than to effect an arrest, I got a problem with that. This is all for show. This is an agency worried about what? Its public brand.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
As a listener to AM 560, I know you've heard the commercials for Balance of Nature. And after hearing all the testimonials for years, you probably wonder, are they real? I mean, people have asked me too. Does it really work? How is it made? Are there really fruits and veggies in there? Well, rest assured, I've met Dr. Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. We spent time together. I met his wife and his son, and they showed me the emails and played the voicemails that they get on a daily basis from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and very few of you are eating enough fruits and vegetables. I sound like your mom. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. Real fruits and veggies in a capsule. It's packed with 30 fruits and vegetables picked at the peak of freshness, then flash dried through this machine that they have. It's really cool. And then they ground that into a powder, put it in a capsule, no preservatives, all natural. It's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference. So begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first order of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Jack Tabota at Tabota & Associates calls this mailbox money. It's the monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. Jack and his team want to help remove stress from your retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Tabota & Associates at 630-883-4453 for a complimentary retirement analysis with strategies that could help your nest egg provide you monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call right now, 630-883-4453 and schedule a visit. You, your retirement, Tabota & Associates, 630-883-4453. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
coming up at 6:36, we've got Monsignor Hamburg. He was the priest that you saw in some of those videos initially being accosted by the Black Hebrews at the Lincoln Memorial over the weekend. The whole Covington matter, right? And he has a first-person account of what went down. You're going to want to hear from Monsignor Hamburg. And the other thing is this war on Catholic schools. The war by the D.C. press corps in Catholic schools. I want to address this, and I want to get your experiences. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. There's no question that part of the quality of Catholic education is being eroded from within because of the social justice Catholics. But a lot of the attacks on private Catholic and Christian schools coming from outside. Let me give you an example. Dan Levin is a New York Times reporter, tweeted out yesterday, I'm a New York Times reporter writing about #expose Christian schools. Are you in your 20s or younger who went to a Christian school? I'd like to hear about your experience and its impact on your life. Expose Christian schools is the hashtag. Sure, I'll share my experience, Dan Levin. I'm not in my 20s anymore, but I went to Catholic school, and it was a great experience, instrumental in my spiritual formation. I had positive interactions with clergy, and my high school was more academically rigorous than Northwestern University, where I did my undergrad. When will Dan Levin be calling me for that experience? Yeah. If I was 20 and I said that, would he be calling me? This is about attacking private institutions, private religious institutions. This is the radical secularization of the country, and they are coming for Christian and Catholic schools that aren't playing ball with the cultural Marxists. You don't think #expose Christian schools, New York Times reporter, looking for horror stories to tell and looking to ignore the positive stories that are the overwhelming variety. Your experience as a Catholic school, Christian school. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. There's a really good piece in The Spectator by Michael Davis about this as well, earlier in the week. Why did progressives have it in for Catholic prep schools? First, it was Georgetown Prep during the Kavanaugh saga. And Neil Gorsuch, that was his alma mater, too. Now it's Covington Catholic. He writes, as we have documented with respect to Covington Catholic this week, privilege. Median household income in Covington, $37,000. Median property value, $99,000. Wow. And the point is that's always been the case with Catholic schools. Most of the students were poor sons of immigrants from Ireland, Italy, Belgium. If some of the schools have come to be identified with wealth and power, it's unlikely to have been that way for more than a few generations. Compare that to the Protestant boarding schools like Andover, Deerfield Academy, that are aristocratic. Catholic schools are meritocratic, writes Davis. He's right. At any given parish schools, the teaching nuns would undoubtedly have offered a better education than the public system, historically. Combine that quality education with an immigrant's gumption, and you understand why most Polish jokes don't really make sense anymore. Yeah. Beginning in the 1960s, though, this is the problem from within, the person-centered therapy of Carl Rogers began decimating women's religious orders. Nuns either left their convents or else they abandoned teaching and turned to social justice activism. Parochial schools had to hire droves of lay people, most of whom are indistinguishable from the kind of fussy PC marms you find in public schools. Meanwhile, male teaching orders like the Jesuits were infected with a bland, generic liberalism. Tell me about it. He adds, look at the Archdiocese of Baltimore's tweet that condemned the Covington boys. Would that they were so swift and so resolute when dealing with pro-choice Catholic politicians? Where are the tweets about Andrew Cuomo?
Oh, yeah.
Just parenthetically, my remark. How about licentious cardinals? Where's the knee-jerk tweet with respect to clergy accused of abuse? So the media's obvious bias against Catholic schools is not only reprehensible, it's factually inaccurate. The Catholic education system poses little threat to the prevailing liberal orthodoxies, unfortunately. Tom in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning again, Dan and Amy. Dan, our paths cross again. Marist High School took me out of the Chicago public schools. My brother went into the Air Force to pay for it, and it's where I learned any kind of discipline in my life. And again, agreeing with your point, after Marist, I went to UIC, and Marist was twice as hard as UIC was, and those priests at Marist straightened me out because I went in there a 6'3", smart aleck punk, and by the time I left, I at least had some kind of semblance of how to be a man. So I couldn't agree with you more, sir. You guys have a good day.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Interesting note, of the 14 candidates for mayor of Chicago, there's only one who's a CPS graduate, high school.
Really?
Gary Chico.
Gary Chico?
The only one. The question, too, is when they're proposing such incremental reforms of, say, CPS. By the way, Dan Levin, I tweeted him. Any interest in the CPS sex scandal? Anybody want to do an update on the Shake Shaft report from 15 years ago about the incidence of sexual abuse in public schools? No, of course not. But it sort of prompts the question about CPS schools. You just want to tinker on the margins. Elected school board, modest reforms. Would an elected school board or modest reforms get you to send your kids to CPS? I'm going to ask that question at our little candidate forum tomorrow. But we got a lot of questions for Monsignor Hamburg, who is at the epicenter of this international controversy between Covington Catholic schoolboys, Nathan Phillips, and the Black Hebrews. I mean, it sounds like the setup for a bad joke, but that's the story of the week, and it's indicative of so much that's going on. We're going to talk to the Monsignor at 6:36.
And later, your new governor, J.B. Pritzker, really isn't down with the people. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Perry Williams, who's filling in for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning. It's -2 in Chicago with a wind chill of 21 below at 6:33 on AM 560. The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Dangerously cold weather is gripping Chicagoland. A wind chill advisory is in effect throughout the region until noon. The National Weather Service says wind chills could drop to 30 below. Frostbite and hypothermia are possible if precautions are not taken. Governor Pritzker is asking for more time to figure out what to do about the state's largest public employee union. The new governor yesterday asked an appeals court for an extension in negotiating with AFSCME. The union battled with Governor Bruce Rauner for years over a new contract. AFSCME members largely supported Pritzker in his race against the former governor. And a bicyclist is dead after he was hit by a vehicle in southwest suburban Tinley Park. The man was riding a bike last night when a car heading north on Harlem hit him near 185th. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver stayed at the scene and cooperated with police. This news report is sponsored by Peloton. Live studio classes in the comfort of your home. Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet our goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leadership board year-round. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. At AM 560 News Time, 6:34. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Mayoral Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy and some other issues. Finally, my internist, through a bunch of tests and colonoscopy, I won't bore you with the details, found out that my system doesn't produce enough acid to break food down enough where I get the B12 benefit out of it. So I went on shots once a month, which my wife, who's a nurse, can give me, but I was still pretty lethargic. I was just telling my wife last night, I said, you know what? I feel fantastic. This balance of nature really gives me energy beyond anything else I've ever taken.
Use discount code CHICAGO for 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies with free shipping. This offer is going to end between now and February, so act fast. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's network and computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
At 6:37 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
Starting to see a few more issues as traffic volume picks up across the Chicago area this morning. Eden's Inn looking all right. Outbound brake lights 2E to Niles Center, but overall 20 minutes. Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy Inn on the brakes. Nagel to Central. 22 minutes, so here to downtown. 10 in from Montrose. 8 in the inbound express. Looking good on the outbound trip. Still 20 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. A few minor delays on the inbound Ike. Stack up traffic. First Avenue into Harlem. Then again at Damon through the Burns Circle. 33 minutes in from Thorndale, 20 in from Manheim. Crews dealing with a crash on the right shoulder on the inbound Stevenson right near LaGrange. 36 minutes in from 355, 26 in from the Tri-State, while the inbound Ryan starts to slow right near Canalport. Inbound Bishop Ford filling in Cottage Grove into the Ryan. That's traffic.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory for this morning. Clouds and cold. Some snow late this afternoon. The high today 6. Snow at times this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise cloudy, low -6. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 11. I'm Steve Williams. I am 560. The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's an international story that we've been discussing all week. The confrontation at the Lincoln Memorial, precipitated by ignorant rhetoric from the Black Hebrews group that prompted a professional agitator and Nathan Phillips, Native American, and some of his cohorts to confront Catholic schoolboys from Covington, Kentucky, and engender the loss of consortium, the loss of good sense, the loss of restraint, not on the cultural Marxist left, that's expected, but in so many Catholic and conservative circles. And so this week has been punctuated with apologies and think pieces about the future of journalism. And frankly, the debate still rages because the left has a narrative that they're sticking to, and we've talked about it with particular op-eds, that no, the Covington Catholic schoolboys were in the wrong, and they do represent all of those things that so many outlets, by the way, including the representatives of their own diocese, said they represented with their conduct. Well, how about a first-person account? I don't know how many of you have watched how much of the video that is available on the incident at the Lincoln Memorial. But if you've watched the precipitating event, I would say, that sort of set off this chain reaction, there was a priest who was being accosted verbally by the Black Hebrews group. And that priest's name is Monsignor Hamburg, who's the pastor at St. Mark Catholic Church in St. Louis, Missouri. And he joins us now with a first-person account of actually what went down in real time. Monsignor, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome.
So why don't you just kind of take us through what happened to start? You're at the March for Life, as were these Covington Catholic school kids, and I don't know if you were waiting for a bus or what exactly you were doing, but what happened that sort of provided the intersection between you and the Covington schoolboys?
So we had dropped off our kids at the Lincoln Memorial and gave them 45 minutes to go to the Korean War Memorial, the Vietnam War Memorial. They're all proximate to that place. And I was by myself. I had visited those two war memorials. I was walking back across the square in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and I heard this shouting, this yelling, and so I went over to investigate. Those were the Black Hebrew Israelites, and they were venting pretty awful stuff about a number of groups, and I was just listening. I was maybe 30 feet or so from them, and all of a sudden the man turns to me, looks at me, calls me a child molester, calls me a gay priest, though he put it in more graphic terms than that. Mm-hmm. Other guys then started calling me Father Hands, and I'm standing there thinking, gee, I just walked up. I didn't do anything wrong here, and they're verbally accosting me, as you said. So at that point, when the insults were being leveled, and just after they were finished insulting me, and then they began to insult the Catholic Church, the boys from Covington Catholic came over to me. They were standing off to my left some, and I was just so impressed, so touched, that they rushed over in a group, maybe 15 or so, hands outstretched, shaking my hand, telling me, we're behind you, Father, we encourage you, Father. One young man mentioned his uncle's a priest in Cincinnati, and I know what you're going through, Father, and I was just really touched by that.
Wow. So when did they start directing their attention toward the kids?
Pardon me?
So what happened after that?
Well, after that, there was another African-American man, as the boys were talking to me and we were conversing, another African-American man challenged the Black Hebrew Israelites, talking about how, they shouldn't be saying such things about anybody. And then they leveled their insults at him. They called him an Uncle Tom, and things started to get heated, anger. It was a concern of a fight. And some of our chaperones, some of our kids had walked up onto the scene, and we started saying, okay, we need to go, because we were within minutes of having to catch our own bus. It was getting close to 5 o'clock. It was getting dark. So at that point, that's when the young men started chanting louder, or their school songs or whatever they were saying, I think to drown out the Hebrew Israelites and to kind of calm things down with this boiling tension between the single African-American man and the group.
And then so that's going on. The chanting starts, and then when does Nathan Phillips and his colleagues enter?
Within minutes, they started walking over to the situation. Two guys, if I remember, two guys with the drum. Nathan Phillips was one of them, and then there was another man behind him. And Nathan Phillips then walked over to the group. That's about the time our group started moving away from the area. But I could hear behind me the beating drum and the chanting going on, the kids shouting out whatever their school stuff,
But I mean, this is an important point because it seems to be irrefutable on video, but it's still being refuted in certain media circles. Nathan Phillips and his colleague, one guy, I guess you said, walked over to the kids. It wasn't the other way around. They didn't encircle him and give him no out, as was one of his initial stories.
Oh, no, not at all. Well, he walked over to them and kind of moved in between the kids and as he was beating on his drum.
Do you think his heart was in the right place, or he was just? Why do you think he inserted himself?
I think maybe his heart was in the right place. The only thing I would have said to him is that, if you're going to go over there and start beating the drum, try and tell somebody why. Yeah. I think it would have been really helpful if he had just walked over and said, guys, in my tradition, here's something we do to bring peace to situations. There's this particular way of beating this drum or particular words I'm going to say that are more like a prayer. Kids would have respected something like a prayer. But when you just start beating the drum and don't say anything, well, then the reaction is going to be different.
By the time you and your kids were leaving, the situation, what were the Black Hebrews doing? Had they sort of been relegated to an ancillary issue, and now the issue was the Covington boys and the Native Americans?
Well, I think they were still yelling.
Okay.
There was just a lot of yelling going on. There's a lot of noise, a lot of racket, and that was unsettling, which is one reason our chaperones wanted to get our kids away. Some of our kids are in 8th grade still, so sure. They don't need to hear the yelling and the insults that were being tossed back and forth. I don't think anything was going to keep the Hebrew Israelites quiet. They were pretty determined to make their voices heard.
So subsequent to what you experienced first person, and then what you came to learn, like we all did, about some of the immediate reaction to what you're describing actually happened, what was your take on some of the responses from Catholic quarters to the boys?
Well, I was disappointed in that. Well, I was disappointed first in myself, because the first thing that I saw on Sunday morning was the tape that was put out by the Huffington Post, and I was upset. And I said to the other priest and the deacon we have here from the seminary that works at our parish on weekends, I said, I think I should call Covington and tell them there's something good that happened. Because we were all looking at something bad. Mm-hmm. And the way it was put out there, it was slanted to make these bad. And I was, I think I should call and tell them that these boys did something good. They were very good to me. And I want to let people in Covington know that. And then, of course, as the narrative expanded and you saw the true motive of the boys, then I felt a little bit embarrassed myself that I didn't immediately stand up for them. But I rushed to judgment, so I think so did their school and so did their diocese, and that's a mistake we made. But I did immediately want to make them know that these boys were when the priesthood was insulted, when I was insulted, when our church was insulted, these boys came over and gave encouragement and gave support, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing your story. Have you reached out to them? Are you going to reach out to them in the future and let them know what their kids did?
Well, I left a message with their bishop. A friend of mine knows their bishop, and he gave me his number, and I left a message with him a day or two ago just to tell him that this good thing had happened. He has not called me back.
As the pastor of a Catholic parish in St. Louis, what's your takeaway from this incident and the last week of coverage and discussion and debate in terms of how Catholic schools, how the Catholic Church is being treated both internally and externally?
Internally, I think we're recovering from this. We're doing the best we can to hold up these guys now and our faith. Externally, it's still disappointing. I still shake my head that there are people who just have a lot of axes to grind against us and some real meanness to say. I mean, we were all up there trying to protect human life, to uphold the dignity of all human life, and some see that as a bad thing. And I don't understand their thinking that if you try to help people, that's bad. You try to keep beating the hearts beating, that's bad. And I don't understand that. I shake my head in concern with our country with that.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people shaking their heads this week, myself included. He is Monsignor Pat Hamburg. He's the pastor at St. Mark Catholic Church in St. Louis, Missouri. Monsignor, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Apple cuts jobs in its self-driving car division. Shopping malls fear fallout from Sears closings. And American Airlines profit beat targets. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist for the Oxford Club. Just for a moment, I'd like you to picture the perfect stock. No doubt it would have hundreds of billions in revenue, more than IBM, Facebook, and Google. It would probably be a leader in cutting-edge technology like smartphones and robotics. It would be on the verge of dozens of blockbuster announcements. But most of all, it would be ultra cheap, trading at less than $3 a share. Now, it may seem crazy that such a stock exists, but it does. It's a cutting-edge tech company that has made deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars with Nokia, Microsoft, and Cisco, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. It's set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump even calls it the eighth wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of the stock. Why? Because it trades under a secret name. To find out why the secret $3 stock can help you retire, simply go to onestockretirement.com. That's onestockretirement.com.
Apple announcing it's slashing the size of its driverless car technology workforce. Apple didn't announce how many jobs are being cut, but it acknowledged cutbacks are coming as the company reorganizes in the wake of a poor holiday shopping season. Lower-tier regional shopping malls are expecting a negative impact when Sears begins closing more stores. The retail chain will close more than 260 locations, the company revealing the numbers when it filed for bankruptcy back in October. High-traffic malls may find replacement tenants, but lower-end outlets may struggle when anchor store Sears closes its doors. American Airlines earning fourth-quarter profits that beat Wall Street targets. American's $319 million profit helping the airline overcome higher fuel costs. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Here's a great way to start the new year with the MyPillow 4-pack offer. You'll get 2 premium MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. You cannot get this in a store. As you've been hearing me tell you for years, they are the best pillows money can buy. I cannot sleep without mine. And the bottom line is you'll feel better when you get a good night's sleep, right? The MyPillow is washable, dryable, has a money-back offer if you're not happy. And here's more good news. You can still get 30% off everything else including the MyPillow mattress toppers, those pet beds that are awesome because you can throw them in the washer and dryer when your dog gets sick, because that always happens, right? Just be sure to use the promo code Amy to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping plus that 30% discount on everything else, including mattress toppers, pet beds. They have wonderful sheets and pillowcases. Go to MyPillow.com. Check it out for yourself. MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy.
The new year's upon us, the perfect time to get organized, and StoreLock has the solution with StoreLock Modular Systems. It's the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. StoreLock makes it simple and easy to get organized. It's fully assembled when it ships, so you can get organized really fast. And durable StoreLock Modular Systems, they are built the old-fashioned way, made to order, exactly how you want it. Powder-coated in-house in any color you want. You order your custom system just in time for the new year. They're 100% crafted in the U.S., and they feature dividers, liners, layouts, all made with quality materials, including steel ball bearings and heat-treated steel rollers. StoreLock is so strong that each drawer holds up to 400 pounds. StoreLock fits any home or business, will last a lifetime with its 55-year top-to-bottom warranty. All you have to do is order today and receive your system in about 4 weeks. Call now at 1-800-STOR-LOC. That's StoreLock. 1-800-STORE-LOCK. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now I know that you've heard that the same experience is available for your daughter. St. John's is an excellent co-ed environment. It's not a school for troubled kids. People come from all over the country, all over the world. Their alumni include accomplished artists, key business leaders. The Beanie Baby creator graduated from St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. Politicians, professional athletes, a variety of others who have made important contributions to a broad spectrum of society. The Academy is principally a boarding school for young men and women, grades 7 through 12, but they have an active day program for those grades as well. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy is located in the beautiful Lake County region of southwest Wisconsin. And again, they always have ongoing enrollment. It's quite an impressive place. You can go schedule a tour or call them. They'll answer any of your questions. And there's always time to enroll your son or daughter. Again, ongoing enrollment. Here's what you do. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Got an email last night from a lady in Florida who doubted my sincerity about Relief Factor until she tried it. She tried Relief Factor. In her case, it took her almost 3 weeks, and she woke up pain-free. Relief Factor was the answer she's been looking for. This makes my 60 seconds to tell you about Relief Factor some of the happiest times of my day, because I know people are going to get the relief that they've been craving. You can get all the pain relief benefits of Relief Factor without the negative side effects of ibuprofen or prescription drugs. Physicians created Relief Factor as a crucial way to support the body's fights against aches and pains. So no matter your age, maybe you're just too sore after a great workout at the gym, or if you're like me and you're of a certain age and you want to start dealing with the aches and pains of life, give Relief Factor a try. The 3-week quick start is $19.95. Try it for 3 weeks. It's $19.95. Decide if it's for you or not. ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. 800-500-8384. Relief Factor.
AM 560. The Answer.
Well, you know how J.B. Pritzker, Governor Pritzker now always...
Governor Spalding
always, he's like, I'm with the people. I'm just like you guys. Well, it turns out he's not just like us guys, because I have somebody very special in my life.
Okay.
Who was seeing he was seeing the urologist yesterday at Northwest. Well, you got to check.
Moon River. Using the whole hand, Doc?
Slapping the glove.
All right.
Who was at Northwestern downtown, getting a urologist, had to see the urologist, was in the waiting room. It was him and one other person, and somebody comes in all like with shuffling papers. The governor does not want to wait in this room with other people.
Because the room is too small.
Oh, hey-o.
Thank you.
The chairs aren't big enough. No. And he said, we need to bring the governor up through a back elevator. Can you help us?
The freight elevator, obviously.
Right. The freight elevator. It's a large load. You need the freight elevator. And they all look bewildered. Like, there's only 2 people here in the waiting room. I mean, all right, fine. So they actually accommodated him. They gave him what he wanted. This governor of the people can't take a regular elevator at Northwestern Memorial Hospital to go up to see a urologist where only 2 people are in the waiting room?
Well,
I mean, he's a snob.
Was it snobbery, or did he have to be sort of freight lifted in through a window like a Springer rescue? And
Is that why the road was closed?
It was more of a logistical issue. I saw a tower crane outside Northwestern Memorial, and I'm like, "Why? Are they doing new construction there?" I had no idea. It was just time for Jelly Belly's annual visit to the urologist. By the way, I challenge you. Yeah. I challenge you.
And I challenge yous over there.
I challenge every one of you in the listening audience.
Yes.
I challenge Mike Rowe, host of Dirty Jobs. Come up with a worse job than being J.B. Pritzker's urologist. I don't think you can do it.
You don't think so?
Good luck.
Oh.
I put down a marker. I want to hear him.
But they cater to his needs. It just drives me, because I know you don't like Rob Blagojevich, but he would never demand a back elevator to go up to go see a doctor. He was with the people.
Only when he had to go see his hairstylist.
Exactly. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Different spin on the Covington story. How are the boys being treated in the halls of academia, higher ed? We'll discuss with Peter Wood, president of the National Association of Scholars, at 7:07.
And later, you'll hear that medical marijuana TV ad that CBS has banned from the Super Bowl. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Say good morning to Perry Williams, who's sitting in for Mike Scott.
Good morning. Here's some of the stories we're following. 8 people are hospitalized following a 2-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop on AM 560 WIND Chicago.
This is a Fox News alert. A former Trump campaign advisor indicted, then arrested. I'm Dave Anthony. Roger Stone taken into custody this morning in Florida and will be in court in 3 hours, caught up in the special counsel's Russia investigation.
You have 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, 5 counts of making false statements, 1 count of witness tampering. In the heart of this 24-page indictment, which I have here, is Stone's communications and contact with Organization 1, which is, we believe to be, WikiLeaks, and his contacts with the Trump administration.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Roger Stone's been under investigation for a while and recently told Fox News.
This has been financially devastating. The leaks from the special counsel's office.
You know who's also hurting financially? A lot of federal workers missing a second paycheck today as we close out a 5th week of the partial government shutdown. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, there's a haven for federal workers here in D.C. World Central Kitchen on Pennsylvania Avenue. Halfway between the White House and the U.S. Capitol, they're giving out free meals, diapers, pet food. Alexandra Garcia is the kitchen's chief program officer.
They don't know where they're going to feed their families, honestly.
This man is furloughed from the Commerce Department.
Well, you know, most of us live from check to check. You know, it ain't like that we have a bank account we have millions of dollars.
World Central Kitchen is the brainchild of celebrity chef Jose Andres and will be open as long as the shutdown lasts. Dave?
Rachel, there is some talk in D.C. of a possible compromise to fund the government short term. The president says it must include a down payment.
For the wall, which I think people will agree that you need the wall.
But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says no way.
That is not a reasonable agreement.
Relief for a mom and dad in North Carolina. Their 3-year-old boy missing since Tuesday found alive, tangled in briars in a wooded area.
He's up and talking. He's already asked to watch Netflix, so he's good.
Brittany Hathaway thanked all the volunteers who helped search. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's -3 in Chicago with a wind chill of 22 below at 7:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Chicago Police Department's top brass will host the 2-day Crime Fighters Conference starting today. More than 200 high-ranking police leaders from as far as Ireland, London, New York City, Los Angeles, and St. Louis will gather at the McCormick Place near Chicago's lakefront. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson is expected to show off the city's violence reduction strategies and their use of data-driven technology. 8 people are hospitalized following a 2-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop. Police say a man driving a Jeep ran a red light and hit a red sedan early this morning in the first block of Ida B. Wells Drive. 6 people in the Jeep and 2 people in the sedan were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. In college hoops, Illinois is in New York tomorrow to play 16th-ranked Maryland at Madison Square Garden. And last night's action, UIC beat Detroit Mercy 79-67. Chicago State was routed by Seattle 75-47. And Eastern Illinois edged University of Tennessee Martin 66-64. This news report is sponsored by Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. AM 560 News Time is 7:03. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have an answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Mayoral Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Some job recruitment sites overload your inbox with resumes. Glassdoor knows not just any will do. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. In fact, Glassdoor hires are 30% more likely to stay with your company longer. And Glassdoor can help you find that perfect candidate in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock detects threats to your identity, and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at LifeLock.com and use promo code NEWS to get an additional 10% off your first year.
Hey
everyone, Carrie here. For years, you've heard my husband, Ken,
Hello, Radioland.
explain how Income Store is the place for your next revenue stream. Not to date ourselves, but Ken and I have been helping individuals and businesses grow their revenue since before the internet was even a thing. We've heard countless stories as to why people look to increase their revenue.
Some stories make us laugh, some make us cry.
These stories, combined with our own, have motivated Ken and I to dedicate our lives to help people, as Ken says, who need a revenue shot in the backside.
Whether you want to just learn how or simply put, you need to generate revenue today. Our mission is to serve both.
Our worldwide staff of over 150 help to create amazing resources, our most famous being the iTunes podcast.
Today's growth. You got to check out episode 383. It's truly amazing.
And both Inc. and Forbes have shared that when it comes to generating revenue, Income Store is a can't miss. To grow your revenue today, check out IncomeStore.com.
That's IncomeStore.com.
Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
At 7:05 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
Working our way into the heart of our morning rush, and delays on the rise across the Chicago area this morning. Inbound Eden's 21 minutes late cook into the junction with some hangups near Cicero. Getting busier on the inbound Kennedy with slowdowns Harlem to Lawrence, Addison to Fullerton, and as you approach Ohio. 29 minutes in from O'Hare, 14 in from Montrose, 12 in the inbound Express. Outbound delays mostly on the west end between Central and Harlem. Inbound Ike tied up Manheim to Harlem, 38 minutes in from Thorndale, 25 in from Manheim. Crews dealing with a crash is off on the right shoulder on the inbound Stevenson. On the Brakes County line into LaGrange. That's where the crash site and plenty of emergency equipment is. You're also going to run into some delays between Pulaski and Kedzie. 42 minutes in from 355, 29 in from the Tri-State. Inbound Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th minute downtown. That's traffic. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory this morning. Clouds and cold. Snow late this afternoon, the high 6. Snow this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise clouds and a low at -6. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, high 11. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We were talking about Covington, and we got a first-person account at the bottom of the last hour from Monsignor Hamburg, pastor at St. Mark Catholic Church in St. Louis, Missouri. The kids did something good for him, is what he told us. DC Press Corps, hello? The actual priest who was accosted by black Hebrews that was sort of the day that started this daisy chain. Anybody want to hear from him?
It was a wonderful story.
Yeah,
I mean, that is
tell.
great what they did for him.
So the reactions, we focused a lot on reactions from, yes, for the usual suspects on the left. Some of the unusual suspects on the right, including in Catholic circles. Apologies, walking back in, statements made in a rush to judgment. What about higher ed? Higher ed plays in this story, in part because we know left-wing activists have been calling schools that some of these Covington Catholic high school boys have gotten into, colleges, and saying, rescind your acceptance letter.
Oh, yeah. You saw what happened. You don't want a bad reputation. You don't want to sully your university's name. Yeah, I mean, honestly, are they that bored that they're going to go after high school boys?
Well, maybe they know something about how willing universities are to yield to public pressure from the left that other people don't quite fully realize. And then there have been just the actual reactions, even as more of the evidence has been presented, even as more of the first-person accounts have been documented, even as more background has been provided as to the media's hero in this story, Nathan Phillips, from the Ivy League. University of Pennsylvania Associate Professor Ebony Elizabeth Thomas talked about Nick Sandmann as the smiling face of whiteness, quote unquote. The smiling face of whiteness is one that, quote, always hides a knife behind its back. You forgive us, right? You have to forgive us. Understanding will make it better. Reconciliation, diversity, inclusion, she continued, conveying what she suggests to be the attitude of most white people. Usually that or else happens anyway, but it will assuredly happen unless you kiss whiteness's ring. University of Pennsylvania. How about over at Yale and Dartmouth? Professor Dartmouth, Associate Professor of English Jeff Charlotte, best-selling author, said that I have no problem with someone doxing these boys. Doxing, meaning disclosing their personal information, addresses, and so forth for the purposes of pursuing. To his credit, on the Yale side, Nick Christakis suggested that mob justice is not justice. Tepidly suggested. At least that's my opinion. As if that is something that needs to be debated on college campuses now. Is mob justice justice? Nick Christakis says it isn't. And Jeff Charlotte over at Dartmouth says it is. To Ivy League schools. For more on higher ed in the context of this case and some others, including our conversation yesterday with Ryan Baumberger, the Wheaton College incident, we're pleased to be joined again by Peter Wood. He's the president of the National Association of Scholars. Peter, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me back.
What's been your reaction and those of your colleagues in academia to some of the reactions being visited upon these Covington Catholic high school boys, particularly as compared to, say, the reaction to other high school kids who became celebrated activists like, you know, the pro-gun control survivors from Parkland?
Well, my general reaction is I'm appalled at the way the press has responded. I'm appalled at the way my colleagues in many colleges and universities have, who are seemingly delighted to have another opportunity to bash so-called whiteness and to assume that any kid who would dare wear a MAGA hat has to be thought of as a monster of some sort. Of course, I represent the slice of academia that doesn't believe those things. Right. So the colleagues I hear from most immediately are more or less unanimous in thinking that this is a case of grave injustice to the students, but exemplary of what happens in the world of progressive higher education. The rush to judgment is now a well-trodden path. We saw the same thing with the Duke lacrosse case a few years ago, when the University of Virginia had its great phony rape case, the complicity of higher education with the mobbing of Brett Kavanaugh. There's a long and sort of storied history of the academic left jumping in and assuming the worst or inventing the worst is more often the case. And here we go again.
And why not, right? Because, I mean, aren't most of these academics, take the Duke lacrosse case, they're insulated from consequences for being wrong morally and in every other way, just as the media is. I mean, what happened to any academic that signed the infamous letter in the Duke lacrosse case condemning the boys? other than being excoriated by Jay Billis. What happened to them professionally? Nothing.
Well, actually, things did happen to them professionally. Most of them got promoted, went on to bigger and better jobs at other institutions. As far as I know, none of them suffered adverse consequences, but for their bravery in supporting a phony story and rushing to bad conclusions, they got the full set of rewards that academia can provide.
Wow. So going back to that video, though, when you first saw it, what was your initial reaction?
Now, I did not see the short video that caused the trouble until after I had seen the longer video that put it all in context. So by the time I saw the short video, I could see that it was a carefully packaged lie, and that people had taken it seriously. I could understand that the kid's smiles, his smirk, was perfectly presented as though he was some kind of disrespectful guy. But the proper response of anybody dealing with modern media is to look for context to try to understand what was going on. Since then, we've learned that virtually the entire thing was a manufactured lie, fake news in the fullest sense of the word.
Well, if you didn't see the initial video snippet, then you're clearly not monitoring your Twitter account as religiously as you should be, and that's a high crime these days. Just on that, too, because that's so much a part of the conversation as well, the media's reaction and some academics, too, not willing to offer a full mea culpa, not willing to absolve the boys in the case, not willing to indict the conflicting stories offered by Nathan Phillips, for example, but they are willing to blame social media. And David Brooks does a little bit of this, and an otherwise pretty good piece in the New York Times this week, How We Destroy Lives Today, about the use of social media. But he sort of tries to give reporters some cover. Like, it's really difficult being a reporter in the Twitter age because you're because of the time pressures, because of the nature of social media. Like we're beholden to this neutral outlet, or like this neutral outlet is responsible for the content that some people choose to put through it. And I just sort of wanted you to comment on that because, of course, the blame shifting that comes here, including from circles of academia, sort of to blame inanimate objects like a Twitter portal rather than the people that are funneling poison through it.
Right. It's the world in which external circumstances made me do it. Well, nobody is driven to write a news story based on a tweet. That's a choice that people make, and it's a lazy choice if you follow the tweet without doing any real journalism. And the idea that you're just reporting something that happened on the internet is ludicrous. There is a responsibility that comes with the public regard that the news media give people. It is interesting that the world of the counter media takes these things apart so quickly. The mainstream media never own up to their faults or never fully own up to them, but there is this world of other people who busily uncover where the lies are. So the world of, I'm not sure we would say it's just Twitter, but the world of the internet does provide a pretty good safeguard against the mob mentality of the respectable media. And we've been living through that ever since the Dan Rather case, I guess.
Since your organization represents that sliver of academics who believe in antiquated ideas like academic freedom and the college as a free marketplace of ideas and so on and so forth, I always like to get a stop, look, and listen from you as to whether you think things are starting to improve. Is the pendulum starting to swing back in the direction of those antiquated notions, or is it not? We try to take events like the advent of enterprises like Heterodox Academy, Jonathan Haidt, and some others that are sort of center-left academics, but they're not on board for the totalitarian groupthink on campus or the squelching out of opinions that the prevailing authorities don't subscribe to. So where is that in terms of the environment on college campuses today? Is there improvements being made even at the margins, or are we still, so far down the looking glass that it's hard to see much positive?
The story is improvements on the margins. More and more academics who are just keeping their heads low and trying to stay out of trouble are now being willing to come forward and admit that there are big problems and they need to do something about it. But when I say more and more, it's still a small minority. The prevailing leftist groupthink continues. There is a greater willingness on the part of conservative politicians to take higher education seriously, so we're seeing some movement there. The Trump administration has been pretty good at giving a cover for those college presidents, few in number, who want to take the protection of intellectual freedom, academic freedom seriously. So I'd say there are bits and pieces of improvement, but like the rest of the country, polarization is still the word of the hour. That is the 90% or so of the campus that is either very actively on the left or passively on the left still determines the nature of the institution. So unless you pick off one of the handful of small colleges around the country that have deliberately set themselves against the regime of political correctness, what you'll find is almost all the mainstream institutions, the big state universities, the Ivy League colleges, the prestigious liberal arts colleges, will be predictably in support of the efforts to crush whiteness, persuade us all that white males are a scourge, that heterosexuality needs to be abolished or at least put in some limited place, and the whole 9 yards of the reformation of humanity, according to the lights of the far left, proceeds apace. And it's much worse than your audience is likely to recognize unless they've been spending time on campus.
There's a question. Yeah. Sorry, Peter. There's a question to ask when you take your kids for their college visits. Hey, Professor or Administrator X, you guys are focused on crushing whiteness. I just thought, just so I get the heads up before I send Johnny here. You should ask him that question. You should also ask professors and administrators, are you members of the National Association of Scholars? That's a good tell as to whether you'll find a welcoming environment intellectually as well. He is Peter Wood, president of the National Association of Scholars. Peter, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Oh, they're true. Of course, I'm talking about the commercials, the testimonials you've heard right here on AM 560 for Balance of Nature. A lot of people are wondering, gosh, does it really work that well? Well, let me tell you, those testimonials are 100% real. I've met Dr. Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. We've spent time together. I met his beautiful wife and his son, and they showed me the emails. We listened to the voicemails that they get on a daily basis from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and very few of us are eating enough fruits and vegetables. Admit it. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule, packed with 30 fruits and vegetables, picked at the peak of freshness. They have a machine that's amazing. It flash dries the fruits and veggies. They ground it then into a powder, no preservatives, put it into a capsule. It's easy to digest, and in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference. Begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first order of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
It's a fact. Workmen's compensation makes companies less productive and less profitable. It becomes more complicated with every amendment by the legislature. It's an increasing burden on employers. It's important that your company identify the risks and do everything possible to minimize your exposure. For more than 3 decades, the firm of Spiegel and Cahill, a food for the poor business benefactor of AM 560, has effectively represented businesses and insurance companies in Illinois and Indiana with workmen's compensation defense. The attorneys understand and are sympathetic to the real burden your company faces. They excel at helping you minimize the payouts and pursue alternatives to litigation. You'll work with one attorney, and the Spiegel and Cahill team is committed to being responsive and managing costs. To learn more or request a no-obligation workman's comp consultation, call Spiegel and Cahill, the workman's comp defense professionals in Hinsdale at 630-455-4070, or visit defendingbusinesses.com. That number again, 630-455-4070, or online at defendingbusinesses.com.
Let me ask you something. What would an extra income stream mean to you every month? How would that change things for you? More vacation time? Could you secure your retirement, spend more time with your family? Well, Online Trading Academy is a leader in training and investment education. Learn about how money is really made in the financial markets and how investing in them could be your pathway to achieving financial freedom. They will help you learn skills designed to be mastered and applied to generate monthly cash flow. At Online Trading Academy, thousands of people just like you have discovered an education path designed to allow them to reinvent themselves and take control of their finances. I'm so impressed with Online Trading Academy that I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Just call 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-TRADE. Get 2 free passes to their next class so you can check this all out. This is a limited opportunity and seats go quickly, so call 888-984-TRADE or visit them online at tradingacademy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Talking about Twitter, this Twitter exchange, Derek Carr, he's the quarterback for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman, he's a P-hat on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
Kellerman was critical of Carr. You can see when a quarterback don't want it, Kellerman said in broken English. Carr didn't want it. Says essentially saying that, Carr wasn't a leader. He didn't have the
cojones.
Yeah, he didn't have the desire to win. I think Gruden, coach of the Raiders, knows they got to move on, and the question is, can they get anything for him? Is he a placeholder until they find the next guy, so on and so forth? Well, Derek Carr didn't take too kindly to the criticism. He doesn't have the desire to win.
Those good-looking guy.
Okay,
Derek Carr.
If you say so. Those two clowns, talking about Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. Those two clowns don't know anything about this game. Would love to actually sit and break down film with these two on a TV show just to show their viewers how incompetent they are about our game. I actually would like that too. But I like this idea even better. He tweeted at Dana White, the head of UFC.
Yeah.
Hey, how do I challenge a couple of these clowns on TV to a fight?
Awesome.
I think we should start a business together where pro athletes can challenge some of these people to an octagon fight until they give us an answer.
2 walk in, 1 leaves.
Well, 3 walk in,
3
1
walk
leave
in,
could
1
be.
leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
He said, say what you want, but don't question somebody's character as a man if you don't know them. Carr continued. Our job as NFL athletes is trying to leave the game better for the next generation. So let's start an octagon business to give some accountability to these kind of people. Double down on the octagon. I'll tell you what, Derek Carr killed me in fantasy football. He killed my fantasy football team.
Well, which one? Aren't you on different leagues?
Yeah, but
You-
over the last 2 years, he's killed him. I've had him in different teams the last 2 years.
Well, don't draft him next year.
Thanks for the tip.
That's you're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I'll help you with any football needs you have.
I would pay money, absolutely love, to see Derek Carr smack the smarm out of that P-Hat Max Kellerman. Now, I think that could be a pay-per-view winner.
Yeah, that'd be good.
At the next UFC. I love it. I love Derek Carr's feistiness. He definitely has the desire to take on Max Kellerman, no question about it.
Sure does. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
There's a candidate forum, mayoral candidate forum, tomorrow afternoon on the northwest side of the city that's really geared towards the candidates who are making an appeal for center-right voters in the February 26th runoff election, primary election, to make the runoff. One of the co-hosts of that forum is the Northwest Side Republican Club, and we'll talk to its head, Matt Podgorski, about it at 7:37.
And later, oh no, Jason Van Dyke's sentencing is under review from the new Illinois Attorney General. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Catch up with news from here at home and around the world. Here is Perry Williams, who's in for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning. Is -3 in Chicago with a wind chill of 22 below at 7:30 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Chicago candidate for mayor Susana Mendoza appears to be distancing herself from a city alderman accused of wearing a wire for the feds to build a case against veteran city councilman Ed Burke. Normally, elected officials agree to turn mole only after they themselves have been caught in corruption scandals. Mendoza is donating over $141,000 in campaign donations from Alderman Danny Solis and from a debt collection firm co-founded by Solis's sister. The Illinois Comptroller says she will direct the funds to Montford Point Marine war heroes and vets to save their chapter hall in Inglewood and help pay for critical repairs. In other news, Chicago's second oldest Catholic church will conduct its last Sunday morning mass later this year. Cardinal Blaise Cupich made the announcement yesterday concerning Holy Family Catholic Church, which is located in the city's Little Village neighborhood. The church will be folded into Notre Dame de Chicago Church in the beginning of July under a new parish with one pastor and one pastoral staff. This news report is sponsored by Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. AM 560 news time is 7:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes teachers' unions are part of the problem.
One is allowed to chew gum and walk at the same time. Understand how destructive teachers' unions are without having animosity toward all teachers. Teachers' unions are destructive forces in America. They're dark forces. Sorry. Some wonderful people are members of the dark force, the teachers' union.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan Proft here, and I want to tell you about a pro-life organization that's very near and dear to me, Aid for Women. Did you know that 1 out of 4 pregnancies in Cook County ends in abortion? Aid for Women is fighting the abortion battle on the front lines. 5 pregnancy care centers and 2 maternity homes in the Chicago area. Because of the passage of House Bill 40 in Illinois, women on Medicaid can get abortions on demand, free of charge throughout the state. As a result, while Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry are closing clinics throughout the rest of the country, they're actually expanding in Illinois. Women can even come here from out of state to get free abortions, all on Illinois taxpayers' dime. We cannot let the abortion industry take over our local communities. Few people know that pro-life pregnancy centers exist to accompany women in unexpected pregnancies. For more than 40 years, Aid for Women has helped women choose life. Your support is vital, and together we will save lives. Go to helpaidforwomen.org and commit today to more actively live out your pro-life convictions. Again, the website helpaidforwomen.org. Please help Aid for Women save lives in Illinois.
If you're a realtor or managing broker purchasing online leads, please listen to this important message. Team Hochberg and the Miller Mortgage Group at Homeside Financial have developed a proprietary lead conversion system called LCS, which helped Kevin Glover of RE/MAX Professionals quadruple his online lead conversion. Team Hochberg and the Miller Mortgage Group would like to invite realtors and managing brokers to a complimentary lunch at White Eagle Country Club in Naperville on Thursday, January 31st to hear Kevin explain how LCS helped him increase his sales from $980,000 to $9.8 million last year. To register for the complimentary lead conversion system luncheon, go to 56david.com and click on the Events tab. The LCS is complimentary for all our Realtor partners. Seating is limited, so please go to 56david.com and click on the Events tab to register to learn how to convert more online leads and sell more homes.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
At 7:35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
Getting busier and somehow chillier across the Chicago area as we work our way through our Friday morning. Starting to stack up on the inbound Kennedy, Harlem to Lawrence, Irving Park through Division. Then at Ohio, 35 in from O'Hare, 18 in from the Junction, 16 in the inbound express lanes. Out on the lays Addison to Irving Park, and then on the west end between Central and Harlem. Inbound Ike, stop and go Manheim to Harlem, 41 minutes in from Thorndale, 28 in from Manheim. Inbound Stevenson, still a crash on the blocking the left lane now, Willow Springs. That's going to cause a delay back into Route 83. Inbound Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th into downtown. Hang-ups northbound Lakeshore, Roosevelt to Jackson, also seeing some ramp restrictions. It's slow from the northbound Tri-State on the ramp to the outbound side of the Eisenhower. The rest of our Illinois toll roads remain in decent shape. That's traffic this morning. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Morning Answer coming your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory for this morning. Clouds and cold. Some snow late this afternoon. The high today 6. Snow at times this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise cloudy, low -6. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 11. I'm Steve Williams, AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Sun-Times story. Sun-Times education reporter Mitchell Armentrout, I wonder if there's any relation to the character from Breaking Bad, wrote that the CPS administrators offered some rare positive news as they ended the year 2018 with $324 million, quote, left over in CPS's general operating fund. They got a surplus, right?
Yeah.
No. Wrong.
Okay.
And this is where the intersection of, it's hard to discern the intersection of ignorance or purposefully misleading when it comes to the Chicago Press Corps, which, of course, is just an outpost of the D.C. Press Corps. Armentrout just doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just ignorant. Or it's purposeful propagandizing. I don't know. But here's the facts. And we'll take this up tomorrow during the Chicago Mayoral Forum. Bill Bergman over at Truth in Accounting, friend of the show, has a great breakdown on that because on this, the actual CPS financial picture because he's an economist. And, far be it from anybody in the press corps to actually lean on an economist or an accountant. Yeah, just take what the Minister of Propaganda for CPS gives you, huh? This city. Most government uses cash-based accounting rather than the more reliable accrual-based accounting. I don't want to get into the weeds on this, but it's just important to understand what they're doing. The results are, if you give the accrual-based accounting picture, not to be found in the statements for the general operating fund, but in the statement of net position and statements of activities. The statement of net position takes a balance sheet point-in-time perspective. So when you do that, like a professional accountant would, like anybody that you could call at one of the big four to review your books, here's the actual position. Minus $800 million. So it's $1 billion off. Minus $800 million last year. CPS has lost money every year from 2009 to 2018. more than $7 billion over that time frame.
Billion.
Okay. Sun-Times reporting $324 million surplus last year, actually $800 million shortfall. And guess who's going to get stuck with the bill? And
taxpayers.
Right, and important, don't limit it to Chicago. And this is why you shouldn't limit interest in the Chicago mayor's race to Chicago. Because if you haven't figured out that what happens in Chicago impacts and is the responsibility imposed by the Chicago Democrats in charge of the state of everyone in the state, then I'm sorry, but your synapses are not firing. Then you're dead from the neck up. So that's why I appreciate Matt Podgorski. He's a Republican ward committeeman. He's the head of the Northwest Side GOP club in the city.
GOP.
Sorry. And a professional. You know, he works for a living like most people that aren't connected to the political ruling class. And he, along with Chicago City Wire, which is one of the papers I co-founded, are hosting a candidate forum for many of the mayoral candidates that we've spoken to on this show who are making a formal appeal to Republican and center-right voters because, as we saw from polling this week, the race, there's 7 candidates between 9 and 15% right now.
Oh, yeah.
And Republicans,
and it's all real close.
And Republicans represent 15 to 20% of the vote. So
they need us.
This could be the pathway to the runoff to one or more candidates. And, for the first time, as I said, since Bronco Nagurski and Red Grange were in the Bears' backfield, Republicans matter in a mayoral race. The forum tomorrow, Saturday, 2:30 p.m.
Where?
2:30 p.m. St. Monica's Parish, 5136 North Nottingham.
51 what?
36 North Nottingham on the north side of the city. And to talk a little bit more about that, we're pleased to be joined by Matt Podgorski. Matt, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Good to talk to you and happy to be here.
So who do we got in for tomorrow's forum thus far?
Well, so far we have confirmed Mr. Jerry Joyce, Paul Vallis, Dr. Wilson. We have LaShawn Ford, Bob Fioretti, and John Kozlar. We have a maybe in Bill Daley, and the rest are no, I can't make it, or they didn't respond to our inquiries.
Okay. Wait, who didn't respond?
Let's see here.
That's
Lori Lightfoot, Mr. Griffin, Amara Enya, and the rest were no's. Chico, McCarthy, Breckwinkle. At least they had the decency to tell us they weren't going to come.
We'll have let's see if we can get Chance the Rapper to stand in for Amara Enya. That'd be good. Let's see who can. Or Richie Daly could stand in for Bill.
Well, Bill
we'll
Daly.
Take Richie.
I have to tell this story. So we've been trying to get him on the show, and his publicist or his campaign guy said that he doesn't do morning radio. That if we have a question for him, we could try to meet him at a location between 10 to noon every other Friday or something, and then we could get our questions answered.
Well,
that is so pathetic.
What? Those are the same work hours as his brother when he was mayor. 10 to 12.
I mean, my gosh, if you're trying to, get votes, that's just I would the opposite of what I would do if I was his campaign manager.
So tell us what's going on the Northwest Side, Matt, why there's such interest to host such a forum. This was really your idea and your organization's idea. There's like a flickering light on the Northwest Side for the GOP in the state?
Yeah, you could say, I suppose, flickering. So the idea came about, we weren't really actively involved with Northwest Side GOP and the Republicans up here in the mayoral race because there are no Republicans running or anybody really that claims to be moderately conservative or even moderate. It's really a race to the left, it seems like. Nevertheless, we still have a civic duty to vote, and we, according to the numbers we polled recently, there's 97,000 Chicagoans who openly identify as Republican. That means they voted in a Republican primary. They have declared they're Republican. It's 97,000. Of those 97,000, 58,000 regularly vote in municipal elections. Okay, well, what does that mean? That means we're expecting, based on history, only a little over 500,000 people to show up to the polls. That's 10 or 11% of the people that are going to show up in a few weeks are openly Republican. And that doesn't include folks who vote Republican only in general elections. So it's a big part of the electorate. And more sort of locally, a lot of Northwest Side GOP Club members and Northwest Siders in general are asking around, and they're asking me my opinion and the other ward committeemen. Who should we support? Who should we get behind? And my answer is I have no idea. I really don't know. I haven't heard a ton of the things addressed that we're concerned about. So the thought was, rather than try to just pick somebody, let's have a forum. Let's get it out there. And this is a real even playing field. We are wide open to supporting whoever will give us any sort of decent, credible answer on what they'll do with the big issues. Like, we spend $10 billion a year in the city of Chicago. Is there any waste in there? Our unfunded pension liability. Have we even really actually quantified what that is relative to our revenue and our city GDP? I have a list of a half a dozen other issues which I'd love for the candidates to touch on, and we're going to ask some tough, pointed questions tomorrow with your help, Dan.
Yeah. When then is it? How much are they allotted? A certain amount of time to answer each question? You're going to hear from every candidate.
Yeah, so it's not really a debate per se. It's a forum where we're going to ask direct questions to each candidate, and then we'll give them a minute to two to respond and kind of let it go a little bit. But it's not going to be a podium format. They're all going to be sitting at a table together, and we'll have our questions scripted out, and then we will also take a few questions from the audience and read them out loud.
Yeah, just be freewheeling, have like a discussion rather than these like infernal, rigid television debates that are not just debates, they're like reciting your 30 or 60-second commercials. Yeah. You want a discussion, you want to allow for interplay between the candidates because that's most enjoyable and illuminating for the audience and we'll post it online so people who can't attend physically can watch it and so forth. But yeah, I assume and interestingly too about the Northwest Side GOP, Matt, and the civic mindedness and like the continued engagement. The organization really sort of formed out of the Trump candidacy or out of motivation for the Trump candidacy in 2016, yeah?
Yeah, the timing was right there, yeah. So what it did, the Republican Party in Chicago, as we've talked about many times, and to no one person's blame, it's really been non-existent, right? I mean, you've had folks who really made an attempt to kind of revive it, right? Like former Chairman Chris Cleveland and Sean Morrison trying to do whatever he can on the county side, but it's tough, right? When 12% of the vote went to Trump in the city. Nevertheless, though, Trump's the type of guy he really can motivate people. That 12%, that 130,000 people, to actually get out of bed and go do something. So we found actually recruiting a little bit easier after President Trump got nominated and then eventually elected. And so they really are engaged, and people think Republicans in Chicago are like the elite and they're all the stockbrokers. And the reality is a lot of Republicans are like me and my mom and my dad, right? My mom's a retired cop. Half the guys and gals in the organization are police officers, firefighters, city workers, or retired, all of the above. And then the other half are, private sector. So there's just a lot of regular blue collar guys and gals. And they need to know something, give them some reason to vote for one of these 14 candidates. So we thought, let's have a forum. And to your point, let's let it flow a little bit. Let's follow up. Let's challenge. You were just talking about accrual accounting. I think, 12 of the 14 candidates might faint if we ask them that question. Hey, should we be?
Yeah, Paul Vallis will be raising his hand.
Is the only one. Yeah, he's done the homework. Yeah. He has a plan. I think you're going to be very impressed, Matt, with Paul Vallis. Just keep that name.
Well, we're taking a hard look at him for sure. And I'll ask him really pointed questions. And they'll say, so if should we accrue just expenses and not revenue, or the other way around? It seems like they're accruing future revenue but not future expenses, unfortunately. And you really should do it the other way around, right? You should always forecast your worst case scenario. So we'll ask some tough questions. We're not trying to embarrass anybody. We're not trying to trap anybody.
No.
We're trying to say, if we can wave a magic wand and tell 100,000 people how to vote, we need some information. So that's what we're going to try to get.
Yeah, I think a part of it is just, and this is what we've tried to do on this show when Amy hasn't been acting as Paul Vallis' spokesman at large.
What, Paul Vallis? Did I say Paul Vallis?
Yeah. Which is, I think the dividing line between the candidates isn't like race or gender or any of the nonsense of the left. It's who, if anyone, is interested in system change and who is really just interested in the title, the profile, future riches, and sort of maintaining the status quo while giving the appearance of change. And to me, if you can separate out the candidates into those categories, then you sort of quickly narrow your choices and you can make a more informed one.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we kind of been joking around with the Northwest Side GOP guys is, the way the finances are going with the city, at least the trend, right? It's hard to say when it'll all come down if the direction doesn't change, but the trend financially, right, we're upside down. The pension liability is just not getting better, right? We're not stopping hiring employees and putting them into pensions immediately, right? So it's almost like one of the questions I kind of want to ask, and we got to figure out how to frame it, but why are you running to be the CEO of Sears? Yeah. Are you just trying to guide the ship slowly into the sea, or do you have a plan to turn it around? Do you just want to be there for the last 4 or 8 years and kind of liquidate whatever assets are left in the city, or do you have a plan to actually turn this around and make it a profitable city where people are moving in and not moving out, where crime is coming down, not going up? That's really what I want to get to the heart of in this forum.
Well, we'll get to those questions and many more tomorrow. Again, 2:30 p.m., St. Monica's Parish, 5136 North Nottingham in the city on the Northwest Side. Matt Podgorski will be there, as will members of his Northwest Side Republican Club, as will I, and hopefully you. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll see you at the forum tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Take care.
And again, it is located at 5136 North Nottingham.
Right. And
at 2:30.
2:30. 280. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. We'll take the questions you would recommend we ask. Matt offered a couple. I've offered a couple. Amy's offered cheerleading for Paul Vallis.
Paul Vallis.
What?
Give me a V.
What would
give me an A.
What would you like us to ask the half a dozen mayoral candidates that will be entertaining tomorrow afternoon? Take your calls.
And we thank Matt Podgorski, name assassinator, who joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Don't miss Dr. Duke Pesta, one of America's foremost authorities on the dangers of Common Core education. Hosted by Kingswood Academy in Darien on Friday evening, January 25th at 6:30. Dr. Pesta will reveal the chilling truth behind the Common Core national educational standards. You won't want to miss this special presentation exposing the real truths about Common Core. Register to hear Dr. Pesta at kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Hi, I'm Glenn Papura, principal at Kingswood Academy. We're a Catholic grade school that uses a virtue-based curriculum. We believe in forming each child's intellect and character through classical literature, Latin, and logical reasoning, while also giving due attention to math and the sciences. In our morally sound and spiritually enriching environment, children learn to think for themselves and benefit from a low teacher-to-student ratio. I invite you to attend our open house on Sunday, January 27th. For more information, visit kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's been perfect for me for the last couple of years. I just did it for health. I'm not one of these people that have some kind of, issue or anything. I'm in good health and happy and can't complain. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's an easy-to-follow system. Just take the fruits with breakfast and the veggies with lunch, and away I go. So it's easy to do. It's much, much better than the old vitamins that I used to take. It does everything I need to do. I've stayed healthy. I haven't had a cold in 2 years, so I'm doing good.
Use discount code CHICAGO for 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies with free shipping. This offer is going to end between now and February, so act fast. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spervery's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GROW to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GROW to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee, GROW to 85850.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
It's like my family. I never go anywhere else than Joe Cotton Ford. If I have to buy a car, I always go first Joe Cotton Ford. And they have best service ever, and the best price, and the best models.
My overall experience is great. It's easy to buy, it's easy to go through service, and overall, it's just a great experience.
More reasons why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford has the new 2018 Ford EcoSport, the small SUV that's big on standard features for only $18,995, 26 to choose from, with 0% financing for 60 months. The EcoSport SE features heated front bucket seats, a power moonroof with sunshade, rear view camera and reverse sensing system, plus intelligent access with push-button start. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and save big on EcoSport, Gary and North Avenue and Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we asked for your questions for the mayoral candidates. Take a couple real quick. Greg in Elo, Michigan. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, I'd like to ask them if how many pensions they have stacked up and if they plan on remaining in Illinois once they retire.
Oh, that's a good one. Thanks for the call, Greg. David in the 19th Ward.
Yes, hi, Dan and Amy. I'm running for 19th Ward Alderman against Rubber Stamp Matt O'Shea. My question is, in regards to pension pickups, have any of the candidates addressed how much money the teachers are getting at the cost of the taxpayers, which is hundreds of millions of dollars? That's my question.
That's a good one. Will the should CPS taxpayers continue picking up 6 percentage points of the 8 percentage points, so 2/3 that teachers contribute to their pension?
And you know who's going to have a great answer to that question? Paul Vallis.
I suspect
I'm sure
preordaining Paul Vallis will have great answers to all the questions.
Yeah, well, he's familiar with CPS because he was the CEO of CPS.
Okay.
And left with a $1 billion surplus. Not Gary Chico. That's fake news, folks. It was Paul Vallis who did it.
All right, we'll pick up Amy's cheerleading for Paul Vallis and more of your questions after the news.
But first, let's get into the newsroom and say good Friday morning to Perry Williams, who's in today for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning, Amy. Here's some of the stories we're following. More information is emerging about the scandal surrounding indicted Chicago Alderman Edward Burke. Suburban Morton Grove Police and an insurance firm are investigating the theft of a large amount of lobster tails. And the Bulls host the LA Clippers tonight at the UC. AM 560, WIND Chicago.
This is a Fox News alert. A stone unturned. I'm Dave Anthony. Roger Stone, indicted, then several hours ago arrested in Florida. Former Trump campaign advisor ensnared in the special counsel's Russia probe. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Stone, a longtime informal advisor to President Trump, was charged with 7 counts, including obstruction of an official proceeding, making false statements, and witness tampering. According to the indictment, Trump campaign officials contacted Stone during the summer of 2016 about future releases from WikiLeaks, suggesting that the campaign knew about the stolen Democratic campaign emails before they were released. Stone told Fox News this week that he was prepared for the possibility that he could be indicted.
No matter how much pressure they put on me, no matter what they say, I will not bear false witness against Donald Trump.
Stone has long maintained his innocence. Dave?
Now, John, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders just told CNN this has nothing to do with the president. Stone will be in court in 2 hours. Paul Manafort, will also be back in court this hour for a hearing into whether the former Trump campaign chairman lied to investigators in breach of his plea deal with the special counsel. We're learning more about why an American's in custody in Iran. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, an official news agency in Iran quoting a prosecutor as saying Michael White is being investigated on possible security charges, although details beyond that haven't been made public. It's thought he was detained last summer. His family say the 46-year-old Navy veteran was visiting his girlfriend and that he's undergoing cancer treatment and needs specialized care. White is believed to be the first American to be detained in Iran since President Trump took office, Dave.
Simon, it's day 35 of the partial government shutdown. About 800,000 federal workers will miss a second paycheck today. Still no end to the border wall standoff between the president and Democrats in Congress. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's -3 in Chicago with a wind chill of 22 below at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. More information is emerging about the scandal surrounding indicted Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. The Sun-Times reports the developer of Chicago's Old Main Post Office is cooperating with federal investigators working to build a corruption case against Burke. A file on the post office was seized from Burke's Finance Committee's suite in City Hall during a raid in November. Burke voted last year in favor of a tax break for the post office project. In other news, Suburban Morton Grove Police and an insurance firm are investigating the theft of a large amount of lobster tails that were on their way to a refrigerated warehouse on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say 20 pallets of the seafood, valued at $650,000, were missing from the shipment that was delivered to Preferred Freezer Services on January 8th. Investigators have found the delivery driver brought the shipment 1 day later than scheduled, claiming he had mechanical problems with his truck. A plastic band used to secure the lobster tails in the boxes was found on the ground near a parked tractor trailer in a lot on the 6300 block of Oakton Street. In sports news, the Bulls host the Clippers tonight at the UC. The home team has dropped 11 of his last 12 games. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Sears business is improving. Its earnings were stronger than expected, and it was making more money than forecast. Starbucks' new chief executive, Kevin Johnson, has been working on improving customer service at its coffee shops. The boost in sales is a sign that his work is beginning to pay off. Auto supplier Lear is reporting a disappointing quarter. Lear makes car seats and electrical systems. But Colgate-Palmolive's recent quarter was better than expected. It's predicting business will improve this year. Gold's Gym is taking over some empty Sears stores. MarketWatch says it's a good fit as malls add fitness clubs and studios. Gold's Gym considers itself a full amenity fitness club, so it's interested in all the space in the former Sears locations. The Dow was down 22 yesterday. NASDAQ was up 47, S&P up 3. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time is 8:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Mayoral Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between rainforest mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
The check engine light is on in Washington, but politicians keep driving the car as if nothing's happening. There it is again. It's Social Security. A new government report says the Social Security Trust Fund will run out by the year 2034, and that its costs will exceed revenues this year for the first time in more than 3 decades. What does that mean for you? When should you start taking benefits? When should your spouse? And how can you get every dollar of Social Security you're rightfully entitled to? Find out what your choices could be by getting a copy of the Social Security Decision Guide from Taboda and Associates. They've been helping clients tune up their retirement decisions for more than 35 years. And even though they don't work for the government, they know Social Security. Call right now, 630-883-4577, and we'll send you the guide. That's 630-883-4577. Find out how to get every dollar of Social Security you're rightfully entitled to. Call 630-883-4577. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock detects threats to your identity, and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS to get an additional 10% off your first year.
At 8:06 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
A chilly start to our morning with plenty of delays across the Chicago area. The outbound Eden's on the brakes, Montrose to 2E, 26 minutes from the junction to Lake Cook. Kennedy Inn jams from the junction in, 38 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, 24 in from Montrose, 20 in the inbound express, hung up on the west end on the outbound side, Montrose out to Harlem. Inbound side of the Eisenhower a bit busy. Wolf into Harlem, 54 in from Thorndale, 37 in from Manheim. Watch for some tight conditions outbound central to Manheim, 23 minutes from the post office to Manheim, 36 to Thorndale. Stevenson in the left lane blocked at Willow Springs with a crash. Heavier delays, though, between Central and Kedzie. An hour 4 in from 355, 40 in from the Tri-State. Ryan in gets cramped right near the Stevenson, 30 minutes, 95th into downtown. Northbound Lakeshore Drive hits the brakes, 31st to Soldier Field. That's our latest traffic. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory this morning. Clouds and cold. Snow late this afternoon, the high 6. Snow this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise clouds and a low at -6. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, high 11. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Very interesting piece in The Spectator, The Progressive War in Catholic Private Schools by Michael Davis. And in it, he talks about some of the Catholic leaders, dioceses, archdioceses that condemned the Covington Catholic schoolboys immediately, after the first video snippet was released over the weekend. Look at the Archdiocese of Baltimore's tweet condemning the Covington boys, writes Davis. Would that they were so swift and so resolute with dealing with pro-choice Catholic politicians, pro-LGBT priests, or licentious cardinals. In the American Church, the only heresies worthy of such fierce condemnation are those against politically correct niceties. These aren't the sorts of men who run schools as indoctrination centers for... These aren't the sorts of men who run schools as indoctrination centers for reactionary ideology. Yeah. What about that? In the context this week of the New York State abortion on demand right up until the baby is ready for pre-K, basically.
What was that? And then he put the pink lights up on
One World Trade Center.
World Trade Center.
Yeah, to celebrate. There's a great picture that was tweeted out, New York in 1956, New York in 2019. It basically tells you everything that's happened over the last 60 years. New York in 1956 with 3 buildings, I think including the Empire State Building, that were lit, the windows were lit as crosses. And then today, 2019, the pink light at One World Trade Center to celebrate abortion on demand. Somebody asked the question, what if I have my child 5 days early? Do I still have 5 days?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Tweet yesterday from a OBGYN, Dr. Omar Hamada from Nashville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I want to clear up something so that there's absolutely no doubt. I'm a board-certified OBGYN who has delivered over 2,500 babies. There's not a single fetal or maternal condition that requires third trimester abortion. Not one. Delivery, yes. Abortion, no. But this isn't about science, much as the left likes to claim they are men and women of science. They're not. This is about power. It's about hatred for humanity. As Reagan observed, I note that the only people I run into who are pro-choice are those who've already been born. And so how depraved is that side? How pro-abortion, not pro-choice, pro-abortion. Safe, legal, and rare? Rare has been eliminated. How pro-abortion is the zeitgeist on the left. I'm going to introduce you to a YouTube video series targeting kids.
Oh, no.
It's a series called Kids Meet. And this is a video on abortion where you have a woman who had an abortion talking to grade schoolers about her abortion, arguing that abortion is part of God's plan, like visiting the dentist.
What?
Clearly, like, some people believe that life begins at conception.
Which it doesn't.
Do you know what conception? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you
when
know about
a sperm enters an egg.
Into the egg.
It becomes a fetus, and then the fetus is in a lady's tummy. Or in the womb. It's not really a human being yet.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I kind of like to compare it to like a sea cucumber. It's not thinking, it's just living. It's like your arm is not capable of complex thought. Neither is a baby inside your womb.
I like your take.
At any point were you like considering not doing it?
No, actually, for me, it was like an instant feeling. Like I was like, I'm pregnant, okay, I'm having an abortion.
I've gotten into many an internet argument about it. Facebook, Instagram, just all the social media.
That's the place where that goes down.
It's so taboo to a lot of folks, and I don't know why.
Have you ever talked to somebody about abortion before?
I actually wrote a paper in 5th grade about it.
Wow, what was your paper about?
Abortion is okay, and it also depends on like what's happening and why they got the abortion.
So you think it's okay depending on the circumstances?
Yes.
She disagrees with that.
Do you think that sometimes it's not okay to have an abortion?
I want to say if you're being reckless, if there's nothing wrong going on.
I don't know. I just don't agree. Do we want people to just have all those babies?
No.
So what do we do with them?
put them up for adoption.
What do you think that God thinks about abortion?
If I were to say, I think like he's fine with it because there are still babies being born. What do you think God thinks about abortion?
I think it's all part of God's plan.
That's smarter than what I said.
I really was just thinking about Drake when I said that.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Obviously a very excruciating decision for that young woman who's interacting with those kids.
This is repulsive.
And
kids are watching this on YouTube. I better make sure
kids
Peyton
are,
and Eli
Kids are in it. More than a million views.
I know that Peyton had to do a story about pro-choice, and he ended up being pro-life because he interviewed somebody, I'm not going to say who, who's pro-choice, and she said it's not a moral issue, that abortion is not a moral issue. And that resonated with him, and he thought, it's not a moral issue. Are you kidding me? It's the biggest moral issue ever. So he changed. Now he's pro-life, which I respect. And he came to it as a decision all on his own.
Cultural of life versus cultural of death. The good news is cultural of life is winning in most of the country. The bad news is we're not in a place that it is here in Illinois. And obviously, if you live in New York or not, if you live in California, a few other states. But, I mean, the science is increasingly turning people pro-life because you can't deny the science. You can't deny that, for example, the neural tube forms at 4 weeks, which provides the pathway for the formation of the brain and the spinal cord.
I think they skipped that with me.
Yeah, I bet. You mean the formation or the education about it?
The formation.
Oh, I see.
Back in the womb, back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Late 60s.
It's part of God's. It's part of God's plan, huh?
Which is just making because you want to be hip and cool with Drake's song "God's Plan."
Yeah, and also too, now who's making an appeal on faith? Right, the Church of, well, I mean, it's the Church of the secular humanist. It's fascinating because of the celebratory attitude of the left. And where is the Catholic Church? The Catholic Church, the same officials that couldn't denounce the Covington schoolboys fast enough. What do they have to say about Andrew Cuomo? He's Catholic. What about Dick Durbin? What about Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, that's right. They're all.
I mean,
Catholic light, though, right?
Catholic light. How about Catholic not at all? I mean, Catholic as sort of a
Catholic zero.
If
we're going to compare it to soda drinks.
I mean, it's a cultural moniker they wear for political reasons. It's not who they are. Maybe who previous generations were, not them. I mean, there are Catholic voices that call for them to be excommunicated, that deny them communion, which is appropriate, like Bishop Paprocki down in Springfield. But those same people, diocesan leaders, no comment on Andrew Cuomo. What does Blaise Supich have to say about that here? Any comment? Got a lot to say about climate change, got a lot to say about immigration policy. How about core deliverables in terms of where the church actually stands? You know, all those pro-life Catholics that were on the mall in Washington over the weekend? What do you say to them about Andrew Cuomo from the pulpit during homily? Harry and Wilmette, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, I would. It's ironic that it's a women's right issue, and on a worldwide basis, the most common reason for abortion is fetal gender.
Yes.
A lot of times people get ultrasounds and abort female fetuses because daughters are not as preferable, not as desirable as sons.
How about China's one-child policy for so long? Now they're up to 2. How about China having 30 million fewer women than they need? I mean, that's
exactly.
you know.
Yeah. Right, and now, of course, in the U.S., you couldn't tell the fetal gender because that would obviously assume that anatomy somehow determines gender. But we'll not talk about that.
Thanks, Harry. Well, it's funny because we did this Man on the Street that I played, last year sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? I'm answering. Chicago. Are you pro-life, pro-choice? Oh, I'm pro-choice. Oh. Would you support somebody having an abortion because they found out it was a woman, it was going to be a girl, and they don't want a girl?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Oh, okay. Would you if somebody found out that the child had a developmental intellectual disability, say Down syndrome, would you be okay that they're aborting the child because he or she has Down syndrome? Oh, well, I don't know about that. Okay. With the advances in science, it's very possible, the Human Genome Project, that we could come to a time where scientists identify part of the genetic composition that makes one more likely to be gay. If that comes to pass, would you be okay with a person aborting a child because that child was going to be gay? Oh, well, no, I'm definitely not. Oh, yeah. Pro-choice is one of those things that, the pro-aborts have been very good at branding as cool, as hip. Planned Parenthood, the Hollywood celebrities, those who think that life is disposable except for theirs. But we start to scratch the surface, people get very uncomfortable. All you have to do is connect some dots. And so it makes the cowardice of so many in the church that I call home all the more disgraceful. Tom Sadeka in Barrington, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, good morning, guys. I would have called sooner, but I was dropping my sea cucumber off at school.
And this is why we love you.
Yes. Well, good. I hope that sea cucumber, forms into an actual human someday.
Yes, me too. That's the hope. That's what my wife and I have been told. I just, it is very sad and disgusting what's going on. How the New York people reacted to that bill it is such a deep and moral issue, as Amy said. And I'll tell you, it makes me think about the wisdom of God when He's God. Jesus coming back on a chariot, because there's probably a 1 in 2 chance He can come back through live birth again. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. It's dropping my sea cucumber off.
It's the best. It's the line of the day. Is what that is.
You got to laugh to prevent from throwing up your hands. Yes, Brad in West Loop.
Yeah, hi. Those video clips you were playing, I swear, I'm pro-life. I've never had such a visceral reaction than what I almost felt like throwing up listening to that garbage.
Thanks, repulsive.
Brad. It's
celebrating. Please.
But I'll tell you what, I appreciate the lack of pretense, that you don't take human life seriously, that you think this is a big joke.
It's like she wanted to be, oh, look at me. She wants all the attention.
And that you think having that kind of conversation with kids is providing some sort of service. That's such a welcome, unvarnished look into how somebody can be so poisoned by poisonous culture. Julie in LaGrange.
Yeah, I was just listening to this woman talk to these kids, and my horrible thought was, we're going to be hearing more stories on the news about teenagers that are, dumping their kids in dumpsters when they give birth because it's not important or it doesn't matter or it's okay because it's God's will or whatever she said. That's a horrible thought.
Thanks, Julie. Will and Skokie.
Hey, it's the Orwellian changing of the language. It's basically murdering babies is in no way, shape, or form health care or women's reproductive rights. I'm just basically, I can't get my hand around. There are so many cheap and effective forms of birth control today. Why do they resort to abortion as a form of birth control? Why don't they just, not do it to begin with? Why don't they just use the birth control and then they don't have the problem?
Well, and thanks for the call, Will. And here's the other thing. You know what this abortion culture has done? It's absolved men of responsibility.
Oh, some men don't even know.
Well, but
they're having a baby.
But it's the point is it's absolved men of responsibility. And is that where you want? I'm not, sitting here being one-sided with respect to women. It's just, I'll tell you, the good news is in New York, even in New York, there's silver linings. Just as even in Illinois, there's silver linings. Here's one business owner who's not part of the celebration. His name is John Speed. He's the owner of the Book Scout in Syracuse, New York. Closed today. Today is a day of mourning in New York State. We will not collect sales tax today for a tyrannical government that murders babies. We will resume regular business tomorrow, collecting sales tax under duress and abortion now. Next time I'm in Syracuse, I'm going to have to stop by the Book Scout and pick up a couple of offerings. Chip in St. Charles.
You know, the unborn can't vote. Nick Cruz is sitting in a prison down there in Florida, and he shot up a whole bunch of kids at that school. And he's going to have all kinds of representation. He's going to have lawyers, and he's going to have appeals, and they probably won't even put him to death. And one person gets to determine whether unborn gets to live. It's sick.
Thanks, Chip. Sean in Elmwood Park.
You know, the Syracuse story is very interesting because that's the right approach. Now, imagine if everybody who believe the way we do, who own businesses or work, stopped for a month. You see how it cripples a country. Can you imagine how it cripples a corrupt state like New York? Because the problem with all genocides, with all tyrannies, the fault of them is the opposition. Because this dimwit who was talking to this young girl, this didn't happen overnight. This has been 40 years in the making by the complacency of half-men Republicans, like the Illinois Republicans, and their go-along to get along. Oh, it's a choice. Like as if it's a difference of color. I like blue, they like orange. No, moron. One is evil, and one is not. And it's also the fault of the Republicans today when you host these forums and you bring on these scum. What do you think about the pension deficit? As if they bother lying and cheating and stealing when they're willing to kill their own kids. You're dealing with scum and evil, and treat them as such.
Thanks, Sean.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's network and computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-607-3551. That's 800-607-3551. 800-607-3551. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets. Because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
When I found out I had diabetes a while back, I thought, hey, this isn't going to get better unless I really make a fundamental change. And along with that, I got on board with Balance of Nature. So I'm going to do a lot of things right, but I think I can't tell you how good it feels to have some of the issues that I was dealing with completely gone.
Every winter, I usually get a really bad laryngitis, cold. I didn't get it this past year. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I didn't get it this year at all.
Use discount code CHICAGO for 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies with free shipping. This offer is going to end between now and February, so act fast. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560. The Answer.
God's plan. God's plan.
Again, I don't even understand this guy's career. I really don't. I don't understand Drake's career. I mean, is that your Drake impersonation? You sound like Fred Flintstone.
My kids can't stand this song anymore. Turn it off,
Dabba
Mom.
dabba do.
Dabba do. Hey. Dabba 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 dabba. Hey.
I told you. I get Post Malone. I get that. The kids. I don't get Drake. I just don't get it.
Anybody who's really cool doesn't like Drake.
Is that right?
Just saying. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, what do we have, Dad?
We'll check status on litigation on behalf of some of those Covington schoolboys who've been libeled, defamed, and otherwise slimed. We're going to talk to their legal representation, Robert Barnes, constitutional and civil trial attorney for Barnes Law. That's at 8:38.
And this story stinks. Why a Detroit family got kicked off a plane. Oh, drop Mike. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Perry Williams, who's in for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry Williams.
Good morning, Amy. It's -3 in Chicago with a wind chill of 20 below at 8:30 on AM 560 The Answer. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is coming out in support of legalizing marijuana. The county's lead prosecutor made the announcement yesterday before the City Club of Chicago.
I want to say publicly to all of you that I am in support of the legalization of marijuana. I also believe that as we do this, we must do it acknowledging the public health and the public safety ramifications thereof.
Fox also said her office plans to help expunge all misdemeanor marijuana convictions in Cook County. She hopes expunging the misdemeanor records will help those who lose out on jobs or housing because of their marijuana convictions. 3 of the Inglewood 4 will be splitting a $24 million settlement from Cook County. The county board approved the payout yesterday for Michael Saunders, Harold Richardson, and Vincent Thames. The trio and Terrell Swift spent nearly 16 years in prison for the 1994 rape and murder of a woman on the South Side before DNA evidence exonerated them. Bail is set at $250,000 for a Suburban volleyball coach accused of installing a hidden camera to record people in a bathroom at an athletic training facility in Carroll Stream. Michael Ledke is charged with unauthorized videotaping and possession of child pornography. The Bears' new defensive coordinator has high expectations for the defense. During his introductory news conference, Chuck Pagano said the pieces are there to possibly be the best defense in history. This news report is sponsored by Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today. Even if you're a Discover customer, it includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. AM 560 news time is 8:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes teachers' unions are part of the problem.
One is allowed to chew gum and walk at the same time. Understand how destructive teachers' unions are without having animosity toward all teachers. Teachers' unions are destructive forces in America. They're dark forces. Sorry. Some wonderful people are members of the dark force, the teachers' union.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
If you think all banks are the same, it's time to think about Signature Bank Chicago. I'm Pete Olson, head of commercial banking at Signature Bank, where the people who own the bank operate the bank. Not in an abstract way, but in the same hands-on, personalized way that you run your business. We don't rely on a legion of business developers to find new relationships. We don't trust an outsourced phone bank to address your customer service needs, and we don't delegate decision-making to some anonymous credit committee that you'll never meet. We do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Call us today to see the Signature Bank difference.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GROW to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GROW to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee, GROW to 85850.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 8:36 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Dominic Fortini.
Hang-ups continue across the Chicago area this morning, thanks in part to the cold, but getting better on the Edens, where it's 21 minutes in both directions. Lake Cook into the junction. Inbound side of the Kennedy, 54 in from O'Hare, 36 in from Montrose, 34 on the inbound express. Delays on the outbound trip through the Hubbard Tunnel. Then again on the west end between Lawrence and Harlem, 30 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. The inbound side of the Eisenhower stop and go Wolf to Harlem pretty solidly, an hour 5 in from Thorndale, 48 in from Manheim. Troubles continue on the inbound Stevenson. The left lane blocked with a crash at Willow Springs, backing up travel through Lamont. Also have some pretty solid traffic between Central and Kedzie. Meanwhile, inbound side of the Ryan starts to get cramped as you approach 31st Street. It's a half hour from 95th into downtown. Watch for chilly temperatures across the area today. That's traffic. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A wind chill advisory for this morning. Clouds and cold. Some snow late this afternoon. The high today 6. Snow at times this evening, accumulating a coating to an inch. Otherwise cloudy, low -6. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 11. I'm Steve Williams, AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 9 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday mornings at 6 a.m.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so former Trump campaign aide Roger Stone arrested by the FBI at his Fort Lauderdale home this morning, and CNN was there.
What do you know? How do you go figure, huh?
CNN was there to film it, and they were, on the front stoop when the knock came. And so he did, and so he was taken into custody. But And he's been charged with half a dozen counts of false statements
counts.
and one count of witness tampering.
Yep, 1 count of witness tampering and 5 counts of false statements.
Likely, as predicted, and as even Roger Stone has said intermittently over the last, half dozen months, I expect to be indicted. He knows he has a conflict in his story about the WikiLeaks posting of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, his emails. Of course, he says one thing, he says another. Apparently, the feds believe or have evidence to believe Corsi over Stone, and so Stone has been arrested while Corsi is apparently seen as continuing to cooperate. Okay.
All right.
But what about CNN being there? And when CNN had it very first thing this morning, it was CNN exclusive. Is this becoming a reality TV show of the reality TV star president? Just putting aside Roger Stone and even Jerome Corsi and Trump's curious personnel choices and the sordid characters he chose to affiliate with over the course of his business as well as political life that are coming back to haunt him a bit. CNN there. Is there some sort of collaboration with the FBI and the D.C. press corps?
Or Mueller's office? I mean...
Is that, and if so, is that problematic? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Now, one person on Twitter suggested when I said this is starting to feel like the Mueller special counsel is a Law and Order spinoff.
Yeah.
There's no conspiracy. There's no leak. CNN, like other media outlets, was watching the grand jury action yesterday, and they got word that Stone had been indicted, so they were staking out his house knowing that his arrest was imminent. Oh, okay. The porch or the stoop, I don't know the particulars of Roger Stone's home. There, next to the FBI, for the door knock, which you just heard, and the open the door, it's the FBI exclamation you just heard. Is this a joint mission with the FBI and CNN to bring Roger Stone into custody? Highly unusual, to say the least. Highly unusual. But
you just think about our Illinois politicians and how many times, the FBI has busted down their door and taken them at 6 a.m. It has happened to Rob Blagojevich, Betty Lauren Maltese, but there was never a camera there because reporters, you don't know about that. Those are tips that they don't share with you. The FBI goes and they do their job. So somebody tipped somebody.
In addition to that, if the person is not a flight risk, what often, and it's a high-profile case, as this is, obviously, what is often arranged? Through the attorney, your client surrenders to law enforcement. Right. So you don't have to do the perp walk, the early morning raid dramatics. Not in this case. We got a voicemail from a listener who taking us to task. We're missing the point.
I know this is never going to get on the radio, but the Republican
Wrong.
Party, I just don't understand you people. You've lost sight of what you used to be. You're a shell of your former self.
Yeah.
It's, whatever happened to truth.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy is guilty, and it looks like it is, and there's so much, everything surrounding Trump is just so jokey looking. And then all you do is attack Robert Mueller, who's a better Christian and Republican than you guys will ever be.
Yeah.
It's just pathetic. It's a wonder why our country's falling apart. You're putting party before country. It's sickening.
Yeah. Well, you got on the air. Hey, is that the stand? I mean, this is a lefty telling us what a Republican is, which is always my favorite.
That's fun.
Because he's rooting for us. He just wants us to be better Republicans. That's all. And I appreciate that. I do. People are guilty looking. Is that the standard? By the way, if that gentleman had listened to anything I've said on the show, which he clearly hasn't, he just wanted to rally to the defense of Mueller and shame us as being Republicans because we're not in full froth like the cable news channels that have addled his brain. Roger Stone, I just said it here. Roger Stone, Jerome Corsi, Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, these are unsavory characters. I said it at the time during Trump's campaign. I've said it during this investigation any number of times when it's been incumbent upon us to cover these colorful characters, slithery beings, morally suspect operators, all descriptions and many more that I've offered of all of the above. I'm not a Jerome Corsi, Roger Stone, Alex Jones guy. Crack pottery for profit, as I said on this show to this morning when we first covered the topic. So here's a concept for the left, as highlighted by this simp who called us, and coward, called the show. You got the number?
Yeah, 312-642-5600.
Why not have a conversation about it? Because you don't want to do that. All you have is your little virtue signaling, shaming voicemail. Because you're a punk. Call the show, and we'll have a conversation about it. Are you capable to have a conversation? You know who you are who made the call. You can, at one time, offer the descriptions of Roger Stone and Jerome Corsi and Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen and go into all the details of these cases, and we have, and I can talk the WikiLeaks imbroglio in painstaking detail, which nobody wants to hear, not even me. But I'm happy to do that if you want to have the courage to call in. We'll see what you know. Other than they look guilty and Trump's bad and everybody around him is bad and they look bad, so throw him in jail. Wow.
Well, the indictment reads, it alleges that Stone sought stolen emails from WikiLeaks that could damage Trump's opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what do you have to offer other than Trump's icky and people around him are icky, so throw them all in prison? And you want a finger wag about Republicans being a shell of their former selves? You're incapable of having a textured conversation, as are so many who think like you. So why don't you man up and see if you can hold your own on the merits? I think we both know why, don't we? Dan and Wilmette, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
This is simply a cover-up of the crimes committed by the Obama administration along with the Clintons relative to the whole FISA court reviews to actually go after your political opponent based on a false dossier. It's remarkable that anybody is even listening to this stuff and that there's no investigation with respect to that.
Thanks for the call, Dan. Appreciate it.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
You've heard the commercials from Balance of Nature, many scratching your head saying, does this really work? Is it that powerful? Well, let me tell you that I've met Dr. Howard. He's the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. So we spent some time together with his wife and his son, and they showed me the emails and we listened to the voicemails that he gets on a daily basis from real people who are living healthier lives because they've been taking Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and you have to admit that none of us are eating enough fruits and vegetables in our diet, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's real fruits and veggies in a capsule, packaged with 30 fruits and vegetables. Pick it at the peak of freshness. Then they flash dry it and ground it into a powder. There's no preservatives. Put it into a capsule. It's easy to digest. And in a matter of days, you can start to notice a difference. Begin the new year by getting healthier with Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com, type Chicago in that promo code for 35% off your order, or call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Balance of Nature.
Don't miss Dr. Duke Pesta, one of America's foremost authorities on the dangers of Common Core education. Hosted by Kingswood Academy in Darien on Friday evening, January 25th at 6:30. Dr. Pesta will reveal the chilling truth behind the Common Core national educational standards. You won't want to miss this special presentation exposing the real truths about Common Core. Register to hear Dr. Pesta at kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Hi, I'm Glenn Papura, principal at Kingswood Academy. We're a Catholic grade school that uses a virtue-based curriculum. We believe in forming each child's intellect and character through classical literature, Latin, and logical reasoning, while also giving due attention to math and the sciences. In our morally sound and spiritually enriching environment, children learn to think for themselves and benefit from a low teacher-to-student ratio. I invite you to attend our open house on Sunday, January 27th. For more information, visit kingswoodacademy.org. That's kingswoodacademy.org.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GROW to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GROW to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee, GROW to 85850.
Napa know-how. Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium Battery. Its durability and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium Battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Limit 2 per household while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/19.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard. At ADT, we DIFY. Do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
My name is David Hochberg of Team Hochberg, and I have exciting news. To provide listeners with more financing options and lower rates, Team Hochberg is now originating loans for Homeside Financial. Team Hochberg, Chicago-based loan officers, support staff, and in-house underwriters allows us to process and approve loans within days of receiving complete files from our borrowers. I'll be highlighting proprietary loan programs like doing a cash-out refinance up to 95% of the value of your home with a minimum credit score of 680 and construction to permanent loans on both FHA and VA loans. Team Hochberg's new toll-free number is 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, $650,000 worth of lobster tails destined for a Southside warehouse in Chicago has gone missing.
What? How many?
$650,000 worth of lobster. I hope J.B. Pritzker has an alibi.
Oh, hey-oh.
Speaking of alibis.
Or do you want to speak of Pritzker?
A couple with their 19-month-old daughter gets the heave-ho for B.O. From an American Airlines flight, the Adler family.
The Adler family. Da-na-na-na. P.U.
You don't shower? Is that what you said?
No, I did. I shower every day.
Today. So what did you say?
I said you kicked me off because of religious reasons.
We all have showers. You can't complain that we have odor. Seriously.
No, I did not say that. You said you were giving me my stuff back.
No, I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
My wife is here, and we can ask her.
We'll take her to the
Okay? Sir, I'm trying to stay calm. But
You're not calm to me. Your stuff goes. I never told you it was coming off. I would never say that.
You just took her car seat.
You took her car seat. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to buy me a car seat now?
I never said. You have to calm down.
I have to calm down. I have 8 children at home, and there's a religious reason, for some reason, that they're kicking me off the plane. We don't have odor, okay? Nobody here has odor. Oh, stop. Give me that. Oh, stop, okay?
Okay, you need to exit to the rebooking center so they can rebook you for
He's doing it now. I need to get home tonight, sir, and I need a report of telling me why I was kicked off the plane. I'm not leaving this airport until I was told why I'm getting kicked off.
Listen very carefully, because if the captain and the crew do not want you on board, they have final say.
Tell me why.
And they have to abide by all the passengers' wishes.
Tell me, I need a report. Tell me something.
You need a report here, but we're going to update your reservation. We'll refer back to your reservation.
And then it continued.
Could I maybe get that headset, please?
Do not raise your voice to me, sir.
I wasn't raising my voice.
Okay, just calm down.
I am calm. I just want my headset.
Sir, our country is going through a very difficult time right now, and if you're not going to cooperate...
I don't know where a headset ties into patriotism.
Is there a problem here, sir?
I don't think so.
Can you come to the back of the plane with me so we can have a talk?
The stewardess just keeps...
Flight attendant, calm down.
I am calm. What is it with you people?
You people.
Oh, now wait a minute. I don't mean you people. I mean you people.
Sir, I will not tolerate any racist behavior on the plane.
I'm calm!
Fortunately, no taser was needed for the Adler family, but
what the family did after they got kicked off the plane with their 19-month-old, they did a test of their own and walked up to random people and asked them if they smelled, and we're not making this up.
We stopped several people in the airport, and it's embarrassing, but we asked them, do you think we smell? Because we just got kicked off of a plane for smelling, and they were like, oh my God, we're so embarrassed for you that somebody would do such a thing. No.
Well, not the people on the plane, because according to American Airlines, and they released a statement, quote, Mr. Adler and his wife were removed from the flight when several passengers complained about their body odor. They've been booked into a hotel for the night. Hopefully they'll take a shower. Given meal vouchers.
It says he takes a shower every day. Are you calling him a liar?
And they have been rebooked on a flight the following day. So they're home now. But he immediately went to religious reasons because he was wearing a yarmulke.
He says, hey, look, he's got people that say, hey, look, I got these people say I don't smell. You got your people that say I do smell. Let's put it to a vote.
I think he smelled. I honestly.
Why? Why do you say that?
Okay. He just.
You're like this guy. He looks guilty. He looks like he smells. What is that? He said, I take a shower every day.
Well, but maybe he didn't wash his clothes. See, you can shower every day, but if you don't wash those clothes and maybe spray some OxyClean underneath the pits, you could still, that body odor could seep through.
Spray Oxy? Isn't that some kind of detergent?
No, there's OxyClean, which helps.
How about deodorant?
Well, deodorant. No, not OxyClean on your body, on the shirt.
Oh.
Before you put it in the washer and dryer, so you would know if you did laundry.
I do laundry.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Do you separate your darks and your whites and your colors?
I don't have time for that. No.
You just throw it all in and
colors. Excuse me. Excuse me, ma'am. We're not going to tolerate that kind of racist language.
I applaud American Airlines because they listen to their customers. They listen to the passengers, and I'm sure a flight attendant caught wind of it too, and went to the pilot and said, you know what, people are complaining that these guys smell, and they should take them off the plane. So it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. It is. But they gave them a hotel room, wink, wink, nod, nod, like, hey, go take a shower, you two. Maybe throw the kid in there, too, and come back tomorrow when you're fresh and clean and ready to board a plane.
This is going to give you a whole new avenue of complaining about other passengers, because you're a bit idiosyncratic, I've noticed, with respect to flying, and you're also sort of a hot mess when you're flying because you've got one of those neck brace things, which is weird. By the way, number one. Number two, you've got, you come on there like Ace Ventura. You've got like two of every animal in the kingdom with you as your service team.
Well, I sat next to somebody who smelled once, and I asked to be removed to a different seat. But now I know I can ask that person or ask for that person to be removed from the plane. Oh, this is great.
And we now know that man as Mr. Amy Jacobson.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. A big thank you to Justin Kosick, our technical producer extraordinaire, Quinn McCarthy, our producer, and you guys for listening. Have a great weekend. Bundle up because, Dan, it's going to be cold outside. Minus 20 if you factor in the wind chill.
Yeah.
So don't let that sunshine.
And don't let the extremities be exposed, right?
And
I got it.
What are you going to carry with you in your car? A banky? A splanket?
Millimeter. I'm in Chicago.
We're back here Monday morning at 5 a.m. Now let's head into the newsroom. Perry Williams here today, filling in all day for the one and only Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning, Amy. Here's some of the stories we're watching today. A bicyclist is dead after he was hit by a vehicle in southwest suburban Tinley Park.
This is a Fox News alert. An ex-Trump advisor